Welcome everybody to episode number 16, and this time I'm confident I got it right because I did look at the last episode just a few minutes ago and I remembered it is episode number 16. And I'm a shitty DM, I must admit, because I titled the last session Neon Fighter Tailburn, but I should have named it the Fate Weavers. Your name is more important than my shitty fucking NPC.
No, I like that.
But I completely forgot that you got the title. I'm like, oh man. I will change it.
No.
No. It's even better like that.
Okay.
Who knows?
Our name will have a party. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, okay.
He's more important right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully he survives.
Yeah, if he doesn't survive, then
We'll
I'm gonna
see.
change the title. Yeah. Or if you get, well, the episode where you'll probably be named if you enter the arena, then you will also be announced with the name, and I think that's an appropriate episode. If that episode is ever to come. A Vost is a long time.
Yeah, we heard it. We learned it the hard way.
Yeah. Well, unless you're traveling, then dies.
Traveling, it goes fast.
Yeah, days fly.
When you're
by.
in the city doing city things literally from morning to night, yeah.
Yeah, then one day can take 3 sessions. Yeah.
Running in circles for days.
Yeah, but getting closer and closer to the center. So that's probably not that bad. Well, I have to put a disclaimer for probably this episode, depending on what the players will do, but just your usual trigger warning that something gruesome may happen. That something very vile descriptive things. And you might be thinking, oh, that's spoilers. No, it's not spoilers or anything. It's not. It's just, how should I phrase this? You will understand when it comes to it. And I'm just saying this to save my own skin, because people will think, like, what the fuck is going inside of this man's mind? And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty messed up. So just that you have a preemptive warning. And you will know when it will come up. So I'm just put it out there. But I should have a disclaimer for every episode, since it could technically happen every episode. But this one specifically, I'm like, yeah, it's some pretty specific stuff. So if like violence and gore isn't your thing, then this episode, or at least one part of the episode, probably you will have to skip. Okay, with this foreboding warning at the start, we shall now come to our introduction, starting off with...
I am Greg, and I'm playing Irix Banner, the human artificer who is just... It's slowly, but also quickly going insane.
Cool. I'm Matt. I'm playing Dr. Fiera. From Canaan. She came here, got some money, so she kind of went a little crazy and got some golden tickets for her and a new apprentice that she is very excited for. Especially our first session that, with his training that will come up. And yeah, I have popcorn, so if we do get to the show, then I'm ready.
Sorry, I'm Skit, and I'm apparently burping. I play Isarel Liafina, the high elf druid / cleric, who is scared shitless of fighting and decided to follow her friends into a possible pit fight later. So yeah, we'll see how that's gonna go. But for now, she's just gonna probably enjoy a good fight.
And then I am Felicia. I am playing Arya Einscheit. She's secretly super excited to see this pit fight. She wants to study how people move to give her ideas on ways to move to avoid dying.
That is interesting. Yes, educational observation is what I should call that. Yes. Well, we'll see if you come to that point to witness this fight. And without further ado, I think that's a great moment to let this episode continue. And I will have to do my fancy volume adjustments. It's always sad to see people die. It really is. Rotten corpses infested with blight. The smell of burning flesh in the air. And the sight of your fellow friends heaped up in a pile. Burning away slowly and turning to ash. Really makes you start to think after a while, why the hell we even do this? It's not like we're getting anything from it anyways. No. In fact, all we get is seeing our comrades die, day after day. To protect the people is what some of us tell ourselves. But I've learned that any excuse to convince oneself will eventually wear itself thin. And you'll have to desperately find a different lie to convince yourself of continuing on. So you can truly believe me when I say this is nothing personal. My life just wasn't that great. And now I ended up here. With you. But don't worry. It'll all be over for you shortly. And in a twisted way. I kind of envy you for that. I'm too scared to die. But someday I will. And I'll be happy when that day comes. And there we have it. And we're gonna jump this off with a quick recap for you guys. As you have been last episode exploring the Untergrund now more frivolously after having a somewhat unexpected encounter while in the high plains. You also gained some new information after meeting up with Candace Erkstein, having investigated the Azutec college that Renopila has been so fondly developing, and you decided the best course of action would be do an underground and then kind of explore the threads that you have missed there. You would call upon fellow friend Endel Firm and take him under your wing when you encountered him back in the Vansfire district, you found out that apparently some people tried to kidnap him while he was waiting there for you, but he's a nimble guy, as he has stated many of times, and was able to dodge the kidnapping and could meet up with you. And then you just kind of discussed with him, or more to say, Fiera discussed with him a patronship that could be developed between the two of them. And after finding out that he has a ill little sister, and that you would be willing to take care of her, he was very happy to be under Fiera's services, if that meant that his sister could escape the underground and hopefully in the future live a more normal life and maybe even have a cure for her ailments. After that, you made your way through the old Wyvern, a dark underground space that is like a line of webs but made out of bridges stacked atop of each other, bundled with hundreds, if not even thousands, of homeless people who do not either have the money or the means to afford a house or estate on the surface, so unfortunately come down here. And in this dimly lit area, and I'll warn you that the possibility of being robbed is very high, since most people don't have anything to lose here anyways. And you were followed by sets of 2 boats, but the swing of a lantern has apparently been a warning enough to keep them away. And so you kind of went through the old drive undisturbed and entered into the Velon pit, where you decided to not only buy tickets for the event which will occur tomorrow, the next day, but also sign up as the Fate Weavers to join the pit or the fight in the next Voss, since a tournament takes place every on the first day of every Voss. And because it was literally the last day of the current Voss, the sign-ups for the next event were already full, so you would have to take the Voss after that, which is 10 days or 11 days if you want to be specific. Yeah, and after that you just wish to see for the rest of the day the sister of Endel and maybe even bring her to safety, as the people who are following Endel might also potentially try and use his sister as a hostage or something, or at least Endel was fearing that that might be one of the possibilities. And that's where we're going to pick back up. You guys were currently in the process of entering the Delaware district from, I'll remind myself, what the hell is that district called? The Crossington Harbor. He kind of led you there, and on the way there you could see that Endel was, talking and waving to a few of the people there. Seems like he is known in this place. But you can see as you get to the docks itself, and I think it's your very first time actually approaching one of the outer docks at the dock sides itself, and you can immediately see just these big long rows of ships that have made their way there and are currently docked inside of the docks. And obviously in this world where high storms blow over, you need special docks to prevent the ships just being casted away, since the winds are so strong. So for each of the docks there's like these special ship garages that are built, just these extremely high barrier walls. And it kind of looks like this is gonna be a very weird comparison, but like a men's store in a toilet, where you have these barricades on the left and the right, so you can't see the guy next to you. And similar with the ships, called storm walls, just to prevent the winds hitting the ships directly. And each of these ships are docked inside of there. You can see these large cranes set over each of these docks that are currently carrying heavy cargo up or carrying heavy cargo down, and obviously large sets of stairs that lead down so you can reach the ships and the actual dock site itself. You can also see there is a large bridge in this dock that connects to the other side of the river, where you can see that eastern wing of the city kind of continues a bit before closing in around once it reaches the ocean. But as you kind of step to the side of the docks and then go down one of these large sets of stairs, you can immediately see that underneath the bridge and several different areas, while there are also these big storm walls, instead of the cranes coming down there and there being a wall or the cliff itself, you can see there's just a large tunnel that leads inwards. And from one of them, you can see how a ship is currently proceeding to drive outside of it and kind of leaving the interior, which is probably where the Delaware district is. And you can see also that the stairs that you have taken particularly don't actually go down to the ports, but instead spiral around and lead you inside of the Delaware. And that is where Endel is currently taking you. You brush past few of the seamen or other merchants who currently arrived or are in the process of departing. And once you kind of turn around and now approach kind of like back into the city, you can see the big underground space. Different from the Darkport here is this district specifically is kind of made more open, and it doesn't really register as like underground like the other underground districts, because there's a lot of sunlight coming in and it's directly built next to the harbor itself. It almost seems like it's just a sister harbor that is behind the actual harbor itself. So as you kind of go down, you can see that you're kind of on the side walkway that leads to the very end of the city. And on the very end, you can see kind of a mirror image of what has been built at the docks itself. So also big set of docks on the inside, and as you're kind of walking down, you can see that the interior space, like a huge, enormous warehouse that has been carved out of the cliffside here. Also big load-bearing pillars that come out of the water and then up to the ceiling itself, similar to the Van Spire. And then on the very end where the docks are, there aren't only docks or ports, there are also what seems to be like large houses, warehouses, and then even further down you can see what seems to be like homes, like big apartment buildings, really like these clusters of big buildings that look a bit like modern apartment buildings in the sense that they're very geometric and they're only like these squares for windows, and there hasn't been any refinement or fine architecture added to the appeal to it. It just seems to be these big large blocks that just are there to have space so you can stay and live inside of them. And yeah, and there's kind of just walking you down there as you kind of take in the space, and he kind of just says, well, here we are, the Delaware district. I guess it's your first time for every one of you, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, you would be correct.
Well, our destination right now is that those three large buildings at the very end, kind of next to the docks, and you can see he's pointing to these these large kind of just block-like buildings, and there's a set of three of them that kind of just loom in the sky where you can see the windows, and says that is kind of the space where people go who, you know, can't afford a normal home. Yeah, it's a nice place actually. It's where most of the foreigners go, or a lot of the refugees kind of end up, because you can stay in one of the rooms if you work for them. This is also the part where all the sewage workers live, because they can have a contract with it. Yeah, that's also where I'm currently staying with my sister. And he just walks down.
And Del, have you spent a lot of time up above ground? I'm just curious.
No real point. I mean, I have everything here, and everything upstairs is just way more expensive.
So, I guess I'm just curious how this many people wound up down here. Like, did everybody come from up above and decided to just be down here? Like, I really don't understand any of this underground city.
Oh, I'm no historian, but as far as I know, it's the New Riven. That's just if you're homeless, that's where you end up. In fact, that is where my sister and I ended up in the first place. When our parents died, we obviously weren't able to afford the mortgage. I used to live upstairs while I was still small, and then obviously because our house got sold off to someone else, and then they kicked us out, and then the only place to go is to the underground, and then, you know, it's usually where the people go who don't have anything. And since the city has been expanding that much, I mean, people still give birth to children all the time, but the city's capacity has its limits. The only way to expand now is, well, downwards or not upwards. So I think it kind of just happened organically as the city grew beyond its own confines, and then they had to make do with the space they had.
It makes sense. I guess I'm just more curious because, I mean, like, I'm from here and I've spent a lot of time here. I've never heard of it and never came across. I mean, not that I went out like searching for it. I wasn't, you know, into that whole like secretive life that I've somehow stumbled into now. But I just, how did you find out to come down here, or how did you first get down here? Like, it seems weird to me that all of a sudden you just like, I mean, no offense to you, I'm not saying anything, you know, I hope I'm not coming across as negative. I'm just very curious is all.
Well, if you're a beggar, you could ask anyone. Like, the first thing we did when we got kicked out of our house, we tried to find for a place to stay. And then the first location they pointed us was the underground. I didn't know it existed before that either. But then they said, oh, well, if you don't have anything, that's the place to go. And we're like, okay. And yeah, we ended up down there. I think most people upstairs don't realize the underground exists because they don't need to. Until they are forced in a position where they have to confront it, like we were.
Right.
So that,
yeah. So if we went back upstairs and started just talking about the underground to the regular, you know, person on the street, chances are it's not going to be a thing that they know about, or at least, you know, want to talk about.
Yeah. No. It's kind of the what should we call it? The ugly side of the town. It's kind of what kept Sunanir's appeal good, in a sense, since all the bad stuff happens downstairs, you know? There aren't any homeless people here, there aren't any beggars. Crime rate is relatively low. Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that, but the underground is kind of the place that keeps it in check. And I think I would presume the Dukes made it specifically like that because then they could, you know, control the crime a bit better. But well, don't know how well that has been going.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I guess when you're powerful, you can control stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you? I don't know how you know, experienced you are with, you know, underground secret stuff. But do you know of any? Does underground cities expand across Azathia, or do you know of any others around?
Ooh, no, I've never left Sunanir, so I can't really say. I would assume that underground places exist somewhere else, right? But as far as
right, I mean, yeah. I wondered if maybe there was some kind of like interconnectivity that, you know, you can maybe not get from one place to place, you know, through a tunnel, but is there just some kind of, you know, national underground network? I don't know. That's probably too deep for you.
Yeah, Yeah, I try to stay away from the life of bigger crime. Just because once you're in, you can't get out. You know, like you make connections with the wrong people. That's it.
Yeah, well, see, that's how I felt about, being in a room with a whole bunch of fancy, uh, you know, rich, important people. I don't want. I had nothing to do with any, any higher ups. I didn't like that. I like doing my own thing. That's it. But now all of a sudden I'm kind of in it, and it's it's a lot. So yeah, I can understand. I get your point about not wanting to be too involved with a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, good on you for staying safe and doing what you can here. And
Well, now that you say that, I'm now involved with you guys, so aren't I in the same position as you right now?
well, yes, yeah.
Yeah, you're learning, and you'll learn how to do good. Rather than be ignorant like so many others.
I mean, some of us are just happy to survive, I guess. You know?
Yeah, and being with us is the best way to survive. Like, trust me, we are so good at surviving. You have nothing to worry about.
Okay, I might want to revoke the contract I signed. I'm realizing right now. Please,
yeah, we can.
at least
can go
Don't
over
think
this
you can
later.
do that.
Okay, well, my own safe being, fine, but I just signed it so, I can ensure the safety of my sister. That's truly all I care for.
Absolutely.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say it right now, and kind of stops and turns around to face all of you. We'll have nothing with this. Whatever we are going to do, or whatever you have been doing, I want my sister to stay out of it.
Right. Her future is of her own choice.
That's a promise, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We will do our absolute best to make sure she stays out of everything.
Alright. That's all I needed. And then he turns around and then starts walking again.
Say, Aria, would you mind maybe just shadowing our group as we travel? Just in case we are followed, maybe you can keep tabs on them. If there is someone.
Like, kind of stay far behind.
Yeah, behind and out of sight.
Yeah, I could do that.
We still do have the mind link for a couple hours, don't we? Anyways.
No, I thought last time we only had it for an hour.
Yeah.
All right.
And a lot of time passed. You have to travel a lot per boat and then all the way to the daily district.
I can do it again. Let's see. I think I still have some. Yeah, I still have some psychonic energy die, so I can do it again. Where is it?
Dang! Another 7 hours.
So yeah.
Okay, who are you giving it to?
So this time I'm gonna give it to Eirik. Fiera.
Heavy breathing.
And then Izarel.
Okay. And the mind link is established.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe so.
Alright, then we're
Yes,
good to
I
go.
can hear you.
It's okay, Eirik. Just
Yeah,
embrace
yeah,
it.
Okay, well, Aria, are you going to do anything else? Will you follow the kind of instructions that Fiera gave, or?
Yeah, so I'll kind of hang back, so I can still easily see them, but like try to like not draw attention to myself.
Yes, then you can make a stealth check and a perception check. 25. Very nice. And 13. Which is okay.
Not the greatest.
Yeah, while you're walking down the stairs, these are obviously extremely large flight of stairs since you have to go from the very top of the cliff to the very bottom. And as you're walking down, you do pass by like several stands where people are just selling like random stuff. Little foods, little grilled octopus on the side. Some have like some homemade sweaters or other type of cloth material. That just seems because a lot of people kind of walk up and down these stairs. They just kind of put up a little store there to sell their stuff. And you get the vibe, definitely this area you immediately feel is more similar to the top, so the normal city, than the underground itself, as I've mentioned, since it's kind of very deeply connected together. So there isn't much suspicious behavior going on, and you don't get this kind of unnerving sense like you did when you're in the Vanspire, where everyone who was inside it just had this odd aura about them. They just walk differently. Here it seems more open, more casual. People aren't like constantly on the defensive. And the guards, you also see here that some of them go up, wear normal guards uniform and aren't like specially clothed in any specific way, like in the Vanspire or the Darkport, for example. So as you're kind of walking down and you get to the actual Daily Wear port itself, you don't see any suspicious behavior whatsoever, and you're pretty confident everything is clear. And as you're kind of walking, and they'll also kind of just continue to talk and say, well, since you're here, this is kind of also, I guess, the marketplace for us lower life people. Don't want to undermine myself too much, but yeah, if you ever wish to buy something for a lot cheaper price, you can definitely get it here. Because I can tell you that the people upstairs, from the little shopping experience we had, are definitely marking up the price many of times. Like, buying clothing down here is way better.
Good to know.
Yeah. Maybe they'll probably have more exotic items here as well, since you know, the upper folk have like I think they have like a standard. I think it's even a law that some things aren't allowed to be sold unless if they have a specific requirement, or if they don't meet the standards because they have to fulfill specific requirements. That's how you talk. Yes. So, yeah. Or if you want, I don't know why you would want, but if you want an odd job, you can also go there. And then he shows you a building that is somewhat nestled next to these three very tall buildings. These block buildings are elven style in the sense that they're very tall but thin. You can imagine, like, you know, those motherboards where they have these CPUs that are kind of stuck next to each other in rows. It looks like that, just they're completely flat and then one after the space. So very, very logistically thinking built structures with, you know, no luxury whatsoever. It's really the lowest of the low unless you live on the streets. So yeah, but beggars won't be choosers at this point. And then the smaller section, you can see a lot of people are mingling around there. A lot of them are currently looking at like a piece of parchment that they're holding, a very bright yellow piece of parchment. And then you can see a sign over it that says short stock sewer jobs. And then he just kind of says that's where most of the you know, refugees or people who need a job go. And then if you have a document, you can see many of them have them, you also get a free room inside of there. So it's kind of like a, you know, a way to pick yourself back up if you have lost everything. And yeah, definitely has helped me and my sister. yeah, so I guess let's just meet my sister.
Well, before we get there, is there anything that you guys, like you and your sister, need? Like, can we help?
Did not mean to do that.
She
Trying to read up my things. Ignore it.
Continue, Irik.
Like, do you guys need food or supplies or anything while we're here? Can we help you guys with anything other than, the obvious?
Yeah, well, okay. I don't want to burn you too much, but I do have to get a few herbs so I can make the medicine. So if you wouldn't mind, I would...
Well, how about we examine her first? I believe me and Izarel could probably, not just find a way to maintain her, but we might know a way to help her, like improve.
Yeah, I would still rather also first get the medicine just in case, it doesn't work and then I would have to go back and then go to her again, just so I have it, just in case. Not that I don't trust your abilities, it's just saves.
Well, what kind of herbs do you need?
It's a very
Actually, just for the thing, would those herbs that he would need be in my herbalism kit? Basically, would I have that on here?
It strictly depends on what kind of herbs you need. Like your normal herbalism kit can make like teas and stuff like that. And definitely if you futz around, you probably can make some sort of medicine. But if you need like a very specific medicine for a specific ailment, you probably don't have the herbs inside of there.
Okay, yeah. Alright.
And
that was more the question that I had, like, would I happen to have what he needs? But if it's specific stuff, yeah, we should probably get them before we go in.
Yes. Well, just quickly follow me, and then he just kind of leads you to the side. Not very far away, maybe just a couple hundred of feet. You can see a large building where you can see Might's Moors, like a large store. It seems like looks to be like a general store on the outside, but he kind of goes past it, and then you can see next to it is a little alleyway that he kind of goes into. And it says, "This might seem a little bit shady, because it is, but the herbs are required to make this medicines is not easily accessible. And it's one of the herbs that aren't actually allowed to be sold in public because it's very potent." Yes. And then he just kind of goes into the alleyway, and then you can just see what looks to be like a normal back entrance door to probably the general store, but you can see a little wooden plaque on the end that just says the back alleys. And then he just kind of knocks twice, and then you just kind of hear a rough grunt from the inside. And it says, "Alright." And then he just kind of opens the door, and you can immediately hear, or not hear, or smell a scent of very stark, not necessarily perfume, it might seem like that at the beginning, but just a mixture of different chemical compounds that have been kind of made together, where the actual smell of what it is just so chemically induced that it just stings your nose, and you aren't really sure what the hell you're actually smelling. It just has this very visceral physical reaction that just kind of tings and just makes you wobble your nose. It's almost like your nose hairs are just starting to fall out of your nose, so it's so pungent, so you just kind of move your nuzzle your noses a bit, and then so your eyes kind of adjust to the kind of somewhat dimly lit interior space. You can see it's very tight. It isn't a big store or a big room that you're currently going into. You can see two shelves that are immediately next to the doorway. Only a single file walkway where literally only one person could stand inside of. That kind of goes back maybe like 20 feet, and then there's a desk. And behind the desk you can see a almost like comedically large guy or person that is hunching over this little desk. And what you would expect to maybe first be a human, you can see a lot of fur coming out of parts of his shirt, and then a huge big mane behind him. And you can't quite see everything of this individual because Endel is literally blocking the view of him because, you know, it's such a tight space. But if you kind of, you know, look around his head, you see a very large face of a lion that is currently just there. But you notice this lion has human arms and wings on those arms, and the lion is wearing this kind of very normal white shirt and these black overalls over it. He has his sleeves rolled up, and he's currently in the process of kind of mixing some kind of what is that? Like some kind of brew. He has like different vials that he's putting into each other, and he's wearing these very small spectacles that just look funny on this big lion head itself, with this big yellow mane that's behind him, and he's kind of precisely taking these vials with his long claws between each of his claws and his hands, and he's just kind of pouring it one after the other and then stopping, and you can see that the color inside of the vials, the one that he puts into others, just starts changing, and then a whiff of smoke just comes out, and then you can probably see that that's probably where this strong smell is coming out of, from whatever the hell he's mixing. But once he's mixing, you can see Endo just approaching and says, Melicant, I see you're busy as always.
Don't disturb me. Wait a second.
You can see that he's trying to precisely get a certain amount of liquids inside of the other vial, and I will roll to see.
Oh god.
That should be enough.
And you can see the liquid, or the vial that he's currently poured in, the other liquid, first has this very green color, and it gets this weird acrylic pattern, like if you mix acrylic paint, and it turns a very strong purple.
Yes, that should do.
And then he kind of puts it onto a casket where multiple of these vials are, who have a similar deep purple thing. Puts it there, places the other one on the other side, and then kind of takes his small spectacles off.
You brought guests, Endo. That's a bit unusual.
And says, yeah, these are, I guess, my business partners? Right?
Well,
Not quite.
yeah, partners is a bit much right now.
We're associates.
Well, I signed the contract.
Be my ward. You officially work under me, not beside.
Is there like a difference? Aren't you still like a... Anyways.
Semantics. Well, come back for your medicine then.
Yes, as much as you've got.
Limited supply. Hard to get by these days. Tailors were making a fuss getting them.
Oh, it's getting more expensive.
Yes.
And then he kind of just turns around and then starts rummaging through one of these things. And this guy is large. And as he's turning, he like almost brushes the vials that he's been placed there with his elbow. But he seems to have a keen enough sense that he just barely misses it. That's just only a part of his fur brush over it. And then he just starts rummaging in the back through some drawers. And he says, well, this is Melicant. Good friend of mine. Has been helping me out a lot. If you need anything, let's say, under the radar, he's usually your guy. And
Just from the back, I'll just, nice to meet you.
smell like wood.
Oh, yeah, oh, sorry. That kind of just follows me around.
Nah, it's nice, but isn't smelling poison all the time.
Do you want one? I'll pull out the little pouch and I'll show him.
He's currently like still on the drawers, and then he looks up and says,
Sure, why not? Just
Okay, yeah,
lay it on the counter.
sure, yeah. No, I'll pull away and I'll go and start just shaving a bunch of wood shavings into another little pouch for him.
okay, and turns back to his drawers. After a while, he takes like a little not satchel, but a little tissue that has been kind of tied up. It's about this big. You can see, so very small. And then he just kind of once again takes it between his two large claws, turns around, and then gently puts it onto the table.
There we are. I presume your payment will come later, as usual.
Yes, I'm still figuring out my money
Perhaps.
situation.
How much does he owe right now, with this file included?
How much yours? 250.
Do you take trade?
Yeah, love trading. Much better than money.
So in my head, I'll reach out to Arya. Hey, Arya, what's the name of the thing you're trying to sell?
It is the Collis salt. It's the key ingredient in scratches.
Oh,
Here.
jeez. So we found something, well, off a dead man. It's called Cullis Salt. Do you have any interest in buying a batch of it?
Collis salt. Either you're referring to blue glisten ice salt, or I don't know what you're talking about.
For what I know, it's just used to make, like
The
people.
it's salt from the moving glaciers.
Salt from the moving glaciers. Is that the same thing? It's not really my world.
It's not your world, but you're here trying to trade.
Well, I don't want it. So I'm trying to find somebody that does.
But you have it.
Yes, nearby.
Kind of looks like a little bit suspicious.
Not really something you just come by.
Well, like I said, some individuals attacked us. We defended ourselves, and they happened to be transporting it.
Kind of looks like over you.
I think this conversation is better when the door is closed.
I'm on it. Whoosh.
Close the doors.
And probably lock it as well.
Okay.
So you stumbled upon some Collis salt. Let's call it that. And wish to trade it. Some pretty dangerous stuff you're walking around with, right?
That's why I don't want it anywhere near me.
Probably a good thing then. Alright, I usually don't want to get involved with the Elfenbein cartel, but seeing that you've already have been, I might take it off your hands.
You would. Then in my head to Arya, again, I'll say, hey, how much do you actually have?
Oh, 50,000 gold pieces worth?
What? Can you put that in like pounds, or can you put that in like grams?
Jack, how much is that?
I did specifically said the dimensions. I will double check how much. I think it's 10 packs of 5 grams, if I remember correctly. Let me see.
I kind of wish I was playing Kai for this. Can we swap characters real quick?
Oh my god.
This is his thing.
15 bags of 10 grams it was.
And I got rid of 5.
Yes, so it is 10 bags. Oh man.
So I have 10 bags of how much?
Of 10 grams.
10 grams, sorry.
Okay. So I have 10 bags of 10 grams.
Just make sure that's 100 grams we have, or you have.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Do you see why I want to get rid of it?
Yeah. So yeah, Fiora now with a pretty shocked face. Well, I guess however much we can unload. We stumbled upon 10 bags, each containing about 10 grams.
You see his eyes just like widen.
You're joking, right?
I don't think so. No.
And you just stumbled into this.
Yeah.
As my friend here said, someone attacked us and we just found it on their dead person.
I don't believe someone who's carrying that large amount of money is running around and attacking person.
Oh, no, they were not walking around. We were having a friendly conversation and they decided the conversation was over.
Yeah, they wanted to enslave us, which we didn't want to go along.
Well, sounds like the Elfenbein cartel, or at least that tracks.
Something like that.
Well, I definitely won't be able to take all of it. I can definitely stash it for you if you wish to do so. But,
Would you be willing to take off our hands for this vial, and maybe we can take a look around for what else you have, and make sure my friend Endel here has a clean slate?
I'm currently just debating whether or not I actually want it. Especially through the circumstances how you gained it makes it a little bit different. I don't want to join whatever hit list you have currently put yourself up on.
Well, as you can tell, we'll still have quite a bit of it, and we are much more, well, easy to spot than you.
Whoever
So-
you're talking to, make sure you tell them who we killed to get it. It might make a factor in whatever you're trying to do.
Alright.
Do I feel like he's being truthful about his words?
Which one specifically?
Like when he says like I can stash it for you and like trying to be all
I think he's trying to be on our
helpful with
side.
us.
Should we
Yeah.
make an inside check?
We're gonna find out this guy works for the cartel.
I know, and the rogue's not there to do her
Nope.
own investigation.
He seems to be quite forthright with like stashing, but you can definitely see he wouldn't stash it for long, and he would actually not resell it because that would make him obviously active on the market and instead actually destroy it. So it can't be traced back. And he seems like a chemist to you, so he's somewhat intrigued, but he is, weighing currently, the pros and cons of this very dangerous thing that you're carrying around.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure someone like you has connections. Maybe you can act as a third party between a deal we make with somebody else, and we can cut you in on a fair share for your troubles.
Alright, that sounds a bit more like it. But I'll be using your name and not mine if I do that.
Oh, that's fair.
Obvious reasons. Like I said, once you resell it into the market, your name will be on a permanent list. Because not anyone. And I have to clarify one thing. You have the raw salt, right?
Yes, it still needs to be worked. I believe that's I'm not a chemist. It still needs to be turned into whatever product people use it for.
Yes, that just makes it 10 times more difficult. Normal people in the drug trade have scratch. That's not the most uncommon thing. But the raw materials to make it, that only gets retailed by the Elfenbein cartel, or anyone who belongs to them.
That's pretty useful.
So, yeah. I gladly take it and try and find someone who would be willing to take it, and then can split the price, I guess.
Would you be able to do it before the next boss?
Depends if anyone's in town who's interested. But none of us, probably.
Okay. Then how about this? We'll keep the product on us, and if you can find someone, we can get a hold of you. I will check in with you every couple of days.
Well, how about you give me a small sample so I can at least show the person I'm not, bullshitting them. And I can confirm that what you have is the real deal. Because it'd be pretty funny if it wasn't.
Sure. I guess the holder is outside. Obviously they're a little bit sketchy. They don't want to be caught with it, so are you fine with me opening the door?
Sure.
And then you can see that he's like putting one hand underneath the desk.
Oh. Yeah, in my head I'll just go back to Arya. He just wants to make sure that what you have is what we say, and then he'll find the seller.
Alright. So I'll walk over to where you guys are and go in. And I just have this look on my face of just like stone cold, like trying to show like no emotion on my face. Do you want the goods?
Fuck. Looks at you and says,
If you're the one who's got some.
And I kind of reach in to like my hiding spot, like, and I like pull out just one bag.
kind of looks at it and then takes his hand back from under the desk and then just kind of goes over the desk to kind of just a gesture, an instinctive gesture to shake your hand. He just goes over
I will shake his hand.
and then palm it.
And it gets passed to him like a being all sneaky.
It's like, alright.
Kind of takes it, and then as he kind of reaches for your hand, he has like a huge ass paw. Well, not a paw, but a hand that is a little bit more chubby on the fingers, and these large claws that kind of wrap around your kind of slender and tender hand, and then just kind of takes it. He kind of takes his spectacles again and puts it onto his head, and then he kind of turns around, and then you presume starts inspecting the thing.
I'm gonna position myself so I can see what he's doing.
You can try, but like I said, he's like this large burly figure, and once he turns around, there's like no corners you can look past because he's so big. His shoulders are literally touching the shelves. You could try and like suddenly climb up one of the shelves and look.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay, then make a.
God.
Or, and I'm gonna say this in our heads. I'll say, I can keep an eye on him from the ceiling if you guys want. That might be the time to whip out the spider.
Replying, he would notice a whole body missing.
Right, I forgot about that. Okay, never mind.
He's just looking.
Uh,
I don't trust anyone anymore.
Yeah, well, Ari, if you are trying to sneak a look, you can make an acrobatics check to just, climb up the shelves.
This isn't gonna end well.
Oh,
Oh man.
Ooh.
Was it a good or bad I don't know.
oh, it didn't
That's-
show up. It didn't show up.
It was a 20.
Well, yeah, we will just keep it.
It was an unnatural 20.
Okay, a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily enough for you to kind of climb up the side of it. You just kind of avoid a few jars and a few books that have been placed inside of it, but kind of do it quiet enough and subtly enough that you don't knock anything over. And you can see he has kind of taken out this kind of a little lens while he's still wearing his little spectacles. He has this weird lens that has a very weird coloration to it, in the sense that it's actually changing its color all the time. You can see it shifting, similar to like the vial, where the color was kind of like this acrylic and then changing and mixing with each other. You can see there's like constantly two colors that are mixing and merging, and then he's kind of using this, going through it and just kind of looking at it. And you can see he has taken a little bit of the crystals, because it's like salt crystals, out and placed it on the palm of his hand, and is kind of just expecting it with this lens that he has taken out. And then he puts it back into one of his pockets, and then takes the crystal and puts it back into the bag, and then turns around and says,
This, my friends, definitely the real deal.
Well, duh.
Hey, it's common practice to, put some extra stuff inside. Well, this is pure stuff. Can make kilos of scratch with this bag alone.
I mean, I don't really know much about it. Can you do anything else with it?
As in,
Well, it's, a lot of things have different uses. Could it be used for like arcane uses? Can it be used,
Also,
for medicine?
It's called salt. So can you like use it for cooking or something?
oh. Now, while that is a fine suggestion, if you wish to end your life in the worst possible way, can definitely put it on some nice juicy steaks and consume it. I only know of a few people who actually consumed the stuff raw. Couldn't recognize them after 10 minutes. This stuff is crazy, I'm telling you. I'm pretty sure you can make different stuff out of it. However, the Elfenbein Cartel has a tight grip on the supply of it, and they are usually the ones who, make sure what it's turned into, and they make sure it's turned into drugs, so, they can make money. Plus, I don't think any sane person would even try to experiment with it because it is so dangerous. If it is absorbed in any way into your skin, you will feel its effects. I mean,
Just a
let's go.
point
Yeah.
of clarification: is Arya still up on the shelf when he turned around?
I mean, depends on Arya. Are you still on the shelf?
I would have.
Is she just like hanging there, like, hey?
No, I would have got down before, like, when I noticed he was about done and turning around.
Yeah, I assume so too. So, no.
Okay, then
So-
we just want to offer hands.
In our heads, I would, when he mentioned those things, like that maybe if someone was crazy enough, like it could possibly be made into something else. In our heads, I just kind of say, "Oh, Dr. Fiera, looks like we have some research to do."
Maybe.
So
And I'll just say, in our heads, quick. We could use this to like off people, couldn't we?
I mean, you could, but this is a lot of money. Do we just want to throw money away to off people?
Well, I mean, I feel like we're getting into some serious shit, and we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I'm gonna look at this dude, and still being all serious. We haven't formally met. I'd like to know who we're dealing with right now.
sure. My name's Melikund Warrington. Nice to meet you. Owner of the back alleys.
Can you put this in chat?
Yes, I shall.
Please, you guys are gonna take a little trip with me. 'Cause I'm gonna be screenshotting this because I don't have my notes.
You said he's the owner of the back alley?
Back alleys, yes.
I mean, there's a lot of spells that need, material components. That's a lot. Jeez.
You didn't realize I had that much, did you?
No, I don't remember that. My character's unconscious.
I also didn't slide a hand checks when I was
Yeah.
stealing it.
Yeah, we didn't know.
So
Yep, y'all didn't know.
Says, and who are you fancy people then?
fate.
I was hoping we could use an alias, but
I didn't say the whole thing. I'm yelling in my head. Or your fate maker. Screw us over and you're in trouble. I'll come for you.
Oh, it's a weird slogan. Sounds a bit hostile, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
I
we're
know.
really not. Like that. That's it's just a whole game we're playing. Like, ooh.
Is it? You came in here, told me you stumbled on to the most dangerous drugs, and said you got it by killing a guy. Sounds
Yeah,
pretty...
yeah. I know it doesn't sound good. I understand that. But truthfully, we do come from very just well-meaning places.
Also, one of us died in the process, so let's make it clear that we're not that bad people.
You can...
Glamour, I have a quick question for you.
Oh,
Gosh.
yes. The dress has been developing quite well. I've made some...
Glimmer, I don't have time for Glimmerware talk right now. I have a serious question.
It is a serious question about glamour wear. Okay, what?
Have you ever heard of Melikand Warrington?
Oh, yes. Good friend of mine.
Is he trustworthy?
Yes, I just said he's a good friend of mine. Love the guy. Great guy. His brother, too.
What's his brother's name?
Stinzak.
Brother
it's a useful
is
ring.
Syntac.
I should also post that because it is also a very weirdly spelled name.
So you're telling me I shouldn't tell him that you're the one that we killed to get the drugs?
I'm pretty sure he would laugh about it.
Okay. Well, thank you. We'll talk more about dresses later. I'm in the middle of a meeting.
Oh. Meeting about dresses, I assume.
I'm meeting with Melikend.
Oh, well then please say hi for me.
Okay.
Is he still wearing that ugly white shirt?
Is he wearing a white shirt?
He is wearing a white shirt.
He is wearing a white shirt, Glamour.
Damn that foul cat! A shame to our kind. I made him one. With sparkles. Why isn't he wearing that? Ask him. Right now. Why is he not wearing the shirt I gave him?
So, Melon, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
A close friend of ours is wanting to know why you're not wearing your shirt with sparkles.
What?
Oh no. Oh no. Fuck him. It looks like shit. I do not look like a tiny little girl that's going to go on a fucking ballerina, alright? I have to look serious. White shirt fits me. You can't tell the fuckers that I burned that shirt.
Well, hey, Glamour. He burned it.
He what?
He said he burned it. He didn't want to look like a princess.
The weirdest three-way call.
This son of a bitch. I see how it is, Melican. I see. Once I come back, I will dishevel all of you ugly clothes, and you will have to run around naked. He can't hear me. So say it.
No.
Say it for me.
I will another time, but right now I need to discuss this salt.
No, this is more important. He has to know he is a foul and vile creature that only lives in dirt.
Well, he doesn't know you're dead. So if I tell him that you're speaking to me in my head right now, he's gonna look at me like I'm crazy.
Well, that shouldn't matter. He's the one who's crazy. Wearing that ugly shirt and burning my spectacles that I personally handcrafted and made for him. Oh, when Glamourware comes, he will be jealous to see my success and that he isn't wearing my branded clothes. Oh, I have a
Exactly.
revenge. I have a revenge.
He could have had an original.
Yes.
He could have had an original.
Would have
Okay.
sold for so much.
So,
It would have been so much.
so
I will
I'm
make
gonna look
the
at this
motherfucker.
big burly dude. Sorry about that. Oh, as you can tell, we're friends with Glamour.
Oh, so you're friends. You're also gonna try and dress me up like he?
No. However, he wants you to know that he's dead. And that's about where we got the product. To help you, so that you don't think us as sketchy now that you know where the source was.
I don't know in which twisted way you thought that would make you look less sketchy. Because it just did the exact opposite.
Well, to tell you the quick note version of how we acquired this. We had been on a mission to talk to Glamour about some missing things that he stole. When we went there to confront him, he attacked us, we defended ourselves, we killed him, we searched his office looking for what we needed to know, and we stumbled across this.
Well, I definitely know that one part of that is a lie. Because Glamour would never try and attack someone. You usually always try to use his slimy words to persuade or deceive people into doing his thing.
He was trying to persuade us to work under him.
Yes, that
As
sounds
slaves.
more like it. Well, I would just say he got what he deserved. I told him to not get involved with Elfenbein Cartel, but then he did. So,
Well, he was in debt.
doesn't surprise me. The amount he spends to make his shitty clothes probably costs
Yeah,
a goddamn
He had
fortune.
an entire chest full of those clothes.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
does he want to do with that? He doesn't even go out
Well-
to show it to anyone.
Right? And now he doesn't even have a body.
By the way, how is he talk? How are you communicating with him?
Magic.
But he's dead.
His soul is still around.
Oh,
Do you need us to prove it to you?
Or not. How about we focus on the deal before we tell each other everything about our lives?
I wasn't going to tell him how we were communicating.
alright. Then what's the deal?
So, if you can help us sell all of this, I will give you 25% of the total sales.
I'm pretty sure I won't be able to sell them all in one batch. And 25, you say?
Yes.
No. 40.
40.
I'm the one going out there and putting myself in danger. I'm the actual guy who's selling the stuff.
Do you see how many of us are here? We have to split this between everyone. And you're trying over there to be greedy with 40%? How about 30?
Well, if anyone would like to join me and also try and sell, I'm open.
I was planning on going to go talk to somebody here soon about possibly offloading this.
Okay, make a deception check.
Deception. Oh,
Oh boy.
It's like,
Honestly, I'm on his side. I just don't want it connected to me whatsoever. So if somebody else does the work, it's fine with me.
40% is a good deal. Because, first of all, no one's able to trace it back to you. Second of all, you won't have to get your hands dirty. I'm doing the difficult stuff here. In fact, I should be the one requesting 60%.
how would Ari respond to this?
In Arya, in your head, I'm just gonna say quickly, have him wipe Endel's debt clean, and Endel doesn't have to pay for any more medicine.
How much debt does Endel have for you?
Right now, only 250.
How about this? I will give you 30%. We'll let you live. And you wipe Endel's debt.
Okay.
And he doesn't have to worry about medicine anymore.
Make an intimidation check with disadvantage. Oof. Now you can see him
Stupid disadvantage.
kind of getting a bit aggravated. Now you can see him snarling a bit.
So you come to my place wanting to sell some dangerous drugs so you don't have anything to do with it anymore. And then you have the balls to try and threaten me inside of my own four walls. You know what? The deal's off. You can leave now.
One last rebuttal. Because I'm a persistent person.
Alright.
30% of the remaining bags that I have. and that one is yours for free.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
These dice hate me. I just switched dice because they're cool and they don't like me.
Yeah, also those dice. He says
40.
Hey, yes. I try to whisper in your head, but I don't know how whispers work mentally.
Okay, 40, but Endel's debt is wiped clean and he doesn't have to worry about medicine anymore. You'll help him out.
looks at Endo.
Fine.
He's worth it. And Endel is a good guy.
He is a good guy. You're a lucky bastard, Endo. Or unlucky. 40%.
So we have a deal.
and hey, we're presumably going to be down here quite a bit. It'd be nice to have someone to come to if we need things. None of us know anything about down here. We're literally starting from zero. So if we can have someone to come to, you know, to buy things, to help us out, maybe you can help identify things for us if we find stuff, it'd be great to have a little contact.
Yeah, we're not going to hurt you.
Well, it's cute that you think you can. But 40%
And
and Endo is can get his medicine.
he reaches out his hands.
So I'll reach out and I'll shake his hand. But before I let go of his hand, I look at Fiera. Is there any way that we could make this binding so he doesn't screw us over?
I think down here it's better just to take word of mouth and honor.
Okay, and I said that in my head.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
Alright. Well, is there anywhere I should have the money delivered to once I receive it?
I think I can check in with you every couple days, and we can come down and retrieve it.
Alright.
I don't think having sent to our lodging would be a good idea. Whoever you would be sending up there would most likely be arrested and questioned, and I do not want to risk anyone's life for this.
Yep. We'll keep all of this down here. We don't need to involve more people.
Oh, I have my contacts. That's not a big deal. Not more people would get involved who are already involved.
How
No,
about
I mean about sending it to our people. We don't need to send it anywhere. Like,
Here's an idea. How often does Wendell get his medicine?
Whenever he has money.
Well, now that's not a problem.
Then, usually when each of the shipments arrive, which is about once every 2 voss.
Yeah, I'll just keep checking in.
If anything happens before you hear from us, let Wendell know. He knows how to get a hold of us.
Alright, fancy little lad. Will do. I'll always be here. I won't be moving anywhere anytime soon.
as all of this conversation has been going on, what has Endel been doing? Like, how is he reacting to all of this?
He's literally just speechless. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go up just behind him and like pat him on the back, like, just it's okay.
what is going on? Christ.
Oh, it's fine.
Don't
This is
worry.
what
all you
happens
need
when
to...
you sign people's papers.
Yeah, now you don't have to worry about your sister's medicine anymore. It's all taken care of. We told you we would help you any way we could.
Yeah, but you guys are wise people. It's like the stories of angels coming down from the sky and saving a man
Exactly.
in a desperate position. It's like,
Say Melican, do you have a good eye for things that come in the harbor?
depends what kind of stuff we're talking about, but I like to keep my eye out on unique antiquities and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if you ever find anything of old origin, something from hundreds or maybe even thousands of years ago, then, well, that's something I'm interested in. Artifacts, old runes, old texts.
Makes two of us.
Sure, I don't know of many. But that sort of stuff comes around in the dailyware. It's usually stuff that...
Well, maybe somebody is trying to, sell an heirloom to get by, or, anything old.
Well, that's usually... That kind of stuff usually ends up in the dark ports. That's where more of the high-end merchandise ends up. Since the people there have the money to spend. People here don't really have the money to spend.
Let's see.
Here's more a place for poisons and weapons and stuff like that. Which I can offer if you wish.
No. I'm good.
I mean, it's less dangerous than the stuff you're carrying around, to be honest.
You are a herbalist or someone that deals with like herbs and things like that, aren't you?
Well, more of the chemical. Not necessarily herbalist specific, but I know my way around.
I'm just looking for components for my spells just to make sure that I can replenish my pouch. Is all. It's nothing too fancy. Just a couple moon seeds, a little bit of yew leaf, those kind of things.
Yeah, I've got a few of that in stock. How much you need?
Like, this is me to the DM. Like, if I wanted to replenish my pouch, like, and make sure that I have enough for the next couple of us.
Yeah, it's not necessarily much since you usually or your base kit or herbalism kit is just like normal stuff, so it isn't you can't just say that you kind of just want to refill your pouch basically.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Just to kind of refill your pouch, so it would just be the normal cost of a herbalism kit.
Okay, and
Which I am currently looking up. How much
yeah, I'm trying to find it.
it is?
It is 5 gold.
There you go. 5 gold.
Yeah, so I would probably spend that amount to replenish my pouch.
Okay. Yeah, then just knock off 5 gold as he kind of just refills and resupplies your herbalism pouch with a variety of different herbs. Some of them are a little bit different, maybe a little bit more exotic than what you usually have, like outside of Azathia. But it still does the job for what you need to do.
You are tuned with nature, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes.
Well, I have some always things that you might find interesting.
Such as?
Kind of points to the shelf immediately left to you, and then you can see there's like a long staff that is there, kind of held up by like two wooden pins, and the end of the staff is kind of shaped like a cobra.
Says, it's a nice staff, called Staff of the Adder. Think you could fancy one of those?
And how much would that set me back?
Low price of 2,000 gold.
Yeah, we'll see if we can. We'll talk when I have some money.
And this is why I said that we would love to have a contact we can come down and, come back to.
Well, if you find the money, I shall keep it here. And,
Well, if you find someone to buy the salts off our hands, I'll have the money.
Well, I'll do my best then.
Sounds like
And
a
I
good
will be looking forward to it.
Okay, well, I have a large network of contacts. Is there anything else you would specifically want? I might not have it on hand right now, but I can definitely get my paws on it if I want to.
Well, while we're at it, I'm curious, do you have any kind of potion or anything that if I throw it or launch it at someone or somewhere, when it explodes, can it, cause like a smoke eruption or some sort of like fog?
Yeah, I should have something like that. Let me see if I still have it. Actually, quite a popular item you're talking about. It's not necessarily, well, that you throw it more than you put it down and it starts smoking. But
Right. I mean, I'm just more of a launcher. I don't want to be like right up near the commotion. It'd be nice if I had something that can go a little bit of distance.
Yeah. I got that.
Kind of goes into one of the bottom drawers,
Yep, still one left over.
places it in front of him, and you can see this, kind of typical vase-shaped little bottle that is transparent, and you can see it is completely gray and opaque, and you can see the swirling smoke inside of it.
This, my friend, is a ever-smoking bottle. You open up the cap, releases a cloud or a big fog of smoke that is fairly dense, makes it hard to see inside, and it stays that way unless you plug it back in. Covers quite the range, actually.
Right. So if I were to throw it and the glass broke, it would kind of just wherever it broke, the smoke would billow out.
I don't even think you can break the thing. It's magically enchanted, so a throw shouldn't shatter it. You have to. Well, it's ever smoking, so you can use it unlimited amounts of time.
Oh.
So once you put it back up, it refills, and you can open it up again.
Oh, that's interesting.
Keeps on going.
That's very interesting. All right. Well, how much for this?
This one wants you around 1,000 gold.
Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. That. Great. I'll just back up and go to the back of the room again. Thank you.
In our head, I'll tell Irene, I can make fog clouds at will.
That's good. I want to do it too.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's an off chance, but spell scrolls, even just basic ones.
You have a few. Usual typical suspects that come here and people ask for, go on for invisibility.
Oh,
Let's see, what else do I got here? Yes, commonly used one, mage armor. I think that's the only ones I have in stock right now. Don't usually get a lot of mages around here, but
yeah, I can imagine. The how much for sneaking? I'll keep shopping around. I think we're good for now.
all right.
Well, is everyone satisfied? Endel, I think you have your medicine, and we can get to your sister now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just
Good.
a bit starstruck about what has occurred.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Alright, well, we have things to work toward and work on, and, well, you've made a new, I guess, work associate? That's nice.
Yeah.
I'll be sending you messages every couple days, magically, so be ready for that. Just checking.
Okay, I was expecting a note to arrive, but presume you're just gonna reach into my head.
Yes.
Alright, wouldn't be the first one to do so, but...
Okay, well, it's nice meeting you. Yes, Endel, lead the way.
All right.
And as we leave, I'll just throw him the my little pouch that I made for him.
like catches us like.
It's nice. You know, I don't like taking things for free, so here, you can take one of these vials.
Oh, what is it?
What is it? It's a vial. But
Oh,
it's got some poison in it. Just put it on any weapon. We'll stick on it for about a minute. If you hit someone with it, they get a nasty surprise.
oh, well. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Hope to see you soon enough again. Hopefully alive.
Yeah. Thanks, Melikan, for getting the stuff I need, and yeah, I shall be visiting you more often than I presume.
Seems like it.
And then Endel steps out, and you each one by one exit the back alleys, back into the somewhat cramped alley space, but more spacious than his little room. And then you step back out, and he says like, wow, definitely something. Okay, now to just less. And he just walks to the kind of large three-set buildings. Eirik, you can put in a poison vial, or a vial of poison, or poison vials. one of those it's called. They should have it as an enlisted item. You know what? I will check myself just to make sure, because they're very different ones.
It's Cusco's poison. The
Yep.
poison for Cusco.
Thank you.
Yep. Got you.
I wanted to say it.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove. Oh
Yeah, it's
no.
a classic line from that movie.
I've seen
Please,
the
Jack,
movie,
tell me. Okay.
but I can't remember the line. Wait, say the line again.
he's like Cusco's poison for Cusco. It's Kronk when they're making the poison.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Okay, okay.
Cusco's poison.
Ah.
Poison for Cusco.
I don't remember last time I watched that.
Yeah, it's from a long time ago. So yeah, it's poison basic vial. That is what you can
Mhm.
add.
All right.
So it is an official item, and then you can also read what it can do.
Nice.
Basically what I just described, but in a bit
Poison.
more detail. Yeah, so with that you kind of make your way to the large three-set structures, and they're leading the way, and then he just kind of says, well, just maybe one thing, I will probably first enter the room, and then, you know, make sure and tell my
Oh,
sister
right.
that you're also coming. She's very shy. She actually, I don't think, really met anyone else since she can't go out. She just sometimes the owner of the place kind of, you know, talks with her. She's a nice woman, but very strict, at least to me. So yeah, and now, and you can just hear someone shouting his name, and it's like, oh, there she is. Seems like, I hope she wouldn't notice me. And then you can see this woman striding up, similar to the guy you just met, but instead very smooth for running across his body. And then you realize this looks like the sister of Glamour, perhaps, as a kind of female tabaxi is approaching there. She has like a very tight wearing dress on, but covering most of her fur. Only her hands are like kind of free. She does have like cuffs coming out of them, but the top side of her shirt is fully buttoned up, and she also seems to have like a bit of grey hair on the top, while as it goes further back it does regain some of its more darker color. Seems like a older tabaxi. Fenwick was, you know, glamorous. He was shining. This tabaxi seemed to have, you know, aged in a few bits. And Awe, you can also see, as you have a bit more better eyesight than most of them, that on several parts the fur is missing, where you can see a bit of scarring that took place where the fur isn't grown back. So she definitely seems to have, you know, at some point in her earlier life been engaged in some rough and tumble. And she kind of strides up, and she kind of just looks at Ender and says,
And where the hell have you been? Huh? Would you explain yourself, leaving your sister for almost 24 hours alone?
it's like, I have associates? Is that the term now?
Hi, nice to meet you. And I'll stand forward. I've actually just hired on Endel, and we are here to retrieve his sister and move her to a new place.
Kind of looks like surprised, kind of then takes in all of you and says, oh, I didn't really notice you. Kind of just takes up your hand without like really asking for permission, just shakes it and says,
Oh, yes.
nice to meet all of you. I didn't expect you to climb up the ranks so fast, Endel. Why didn't you tell me earlier? This is something to be celebrated. It's like, aha, you really don't have to go that far. Really, these are, you know, don't ruin it for me, please, okay? It's like, oh, no, ruin. What nonsense are you talking about? And then she goes to each and every single one of you and then just shakes a hand and says, oh, let me introduce myself. My name is Milan Haas, the owner of the Solemn Home. And then she kind of gestures to the big apartment complex behind her. Been taking care of this little frat and his sister for some time. You know, only a few hours ago, some rough men come over here asking for you. You know that? Oh, no. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I've almost been kidnapped. Kidnapped, you say? And then kind of looks to the four of you. By them? No.
No. No.
They,
No.
Definitely not us.
They are my associates. I wouldn't call them associates. Now you can blink 3 times if you are being kidnapped. No! No! Well, I was worried that you would get yourself more deep into trouble than you already have. I told you I've turned a better leaf. I became a guide. That's how I found these people, and you know, now my life is. Now my sister's life is going to be much better. Alright. Well, anyways, it's really nice to make your acquaintance. I'm happy
You
you've
as well.
found Endel, and I hope he's useful to you. Right, Endel?
Oh,
Yes? Right, Fiera?
oh, he most definitely will be.
Ah, shit. Well, I shall not disturb you any further. I have my own business to do. Well, if you're going to leave, then Endel with your sister, then please say goodbye. For her to me. Maybe I will come visit. Where are you taking her then? I would love to see her. Kind of looks to all of you.
It's still kind of undecided and kind of up to her where she decides she wants to go.
Oh, that sounds very interesting, doesn't it? And very suspicious. Well,
It's more like she has options on depending whether she wants to pursue more of a scholar life or more of a simple life. We're just trying to make her comfortable and happier, basically. It's the only goal we have.
alright. And what did you sell? Both of your livers? Sounds incredible. Well, I hope you didn't sacrifice your own life. Not yet, at least. Sounds promising. Well, I'll be on my way then. Have fun, I guess, and watch out. The people inside are. Well, you see. And then she just kind of winks.
What? Actually, hold on. Wait, 1 second. Did you the guys who came looking for Endel? Did you see them?
Yes.
Like personally? Like what can? He didn't really. He's not able to really describe them all too well because it was kind of like dark and shadowy.
Oh, so it is deeper then. I thought they were just coming because you made new friends. No. Well, they did seem like the rough type. That's why I thought you went back to, well, you know, your previous life. Well, there was this one dark-skinned guy, big, burly, had a scar under his lip, has short brown hair, short trimmed beards, wore some armor, looked maybe like a pirate. I'm not quite sure.
Great.
So, what did you do before you started helping us?
Me? Nothing.
She said something about your
insight
your
check.
past life. Yeah.
Okay, make me insight check.
All right, let's see.
With my -2.
That's Cam doing it too.
Yeah, not bad.
17, 12. Let's roll for him. Yeah, he's saying the truth. He literally, he at least didn't do anything extensive.
Jeez.
Like,
Well, that's good. We're getting you two out of here sooner than later.
yes. Then let's not further delay. Thank you very much, Milan, for everything you have done for us. I will always be in your debt. Talking about debt, you still haven't paid last month's rent. Yeah, well, you know.
How much?
It's 25 gold.
I looked at Endel, and she's been kind to you.
Well, she's the reason why I even have a place to stay. Yeah. You are kind of taking over for her now that I'm thinking. Wow. I have a thing going on right now, don't I?
No, we're not gonna go there.
No, no! I didn't... Oh, that sounds weird. I didn't mean it that way. Okay. And he just kind of looks down and turns around.
And I'll take out 3 platinum shiny, brand new Kanan platinum and head into the landlord or
Okay.
owner.
Takes
And
a
I'll go and reach for my gold as well, but at the same time, like oh no, okay, you got it.
That's
Like
kind of
reaching for the wallet.
Yeah.
she looks at it.
Isarel is literally looking away right now.
Well, thank you very much. You made some very generous friends, and they'll keep it up. Well, I see he's in good hands and keeps this young chap alive. He's got a good soul and hopefully a good career. Yeah? Okay. Bye. Okay. And then she just kind of steps back and then starts shouting to some other people who have currently arrived. Man, just, I always felt like how it was when, new people meet your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Very awkward. I guess I should be, grateful for this experience. And you just...
I pat him on the back and so about meeting your sister that we're doing all of this to help.
Yes, let's go there then. And then you step inside of these large stone columns that have been placed here. Very simple entrance, a very basic wooden door, nothing special, nothing fancy. You step inside and it just leads in a very long corridor with doors and 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 doors, set of stairs, and then more doors and 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 doors. So you can't just run down this corridor of doors and doors and doors and doors and doors and doors and doors until you get to these stairs. And he says, you have to climb up a bit. We are nestled in the 5th floor, so get the blood rushing. And then you start to go up the stairs, until you get to the 5th floor, where you're at another hall with doors and 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 doors, which you go down to finally get to a door, which Enel then says, alright, here it is. He kind of instinctively just looks left and right to see if anyone else is in the corridor, and as you're kind of going through this, you do see, you pass through several people. Here you can see you pass through a few genasi. At some point you even see a tiefling. Just a variety of races you wouldn't normally see on top of the city that are obviously oppressed by the Holy Legionaries who have kind of made their way down here where they aren't seen. At some point even walking past a burly full-blood orc that kind of pushes his way past all of you, but kind of ignoring most of the things going on here, and everyone tries to keep to themselves, and including you. But as he sees that both sides of the corridor are clear, he turns around before he opens the door and says, just reminded, I will just quickly go inside, just tell her that you are here and that you will enter, and then you can come inside. And then he kind of takes the key out, unlocks the door, walks inside and closes the door behind him. You wait for maybe 1 minute, after which the door opens up again, and then he just kind of whispers through and says, alright, in you come, it's nothing spectacular. And the door opens, illuminated inside the room by a single candle light that has been placed on a very humble little desk. It is 1 square room that is about 10 square feet big, not bigger. There don't seem to be any second doors or other rooms inside of this room. It is 1 10 square feet large room. Almost half the room is taken by a bed. You can see on the ground there is a makeshift mattress made out of dried straws and other kind of just cloth materials that are in place there. And then you can see 1 bucket on the one side, and next to the bucket is a little hole where you can immediately smell a certain scent coming out of. And then on the right side of the room where the bed is, you can see lying there is a somewhat small girl. You don't see her entire body as half of it is covered by a blanket, currently leaning against what seem to be relatively comfortable pillows. Obviously, some money has been spent into at least making that corner of the room comfortable. And on her lap, you can see a book. You can see underneath the bed several stacks of books that have been placed there. And as you look at the face of this little girl itself, seems to be human. Has a few speckles on her cheeks. Very bright green eyes. Very different from what Endo has. And very strong orange hair. Reminding you a bit of Fiera, just that, you know, the hue slider has been put more onto the orange sides than on the red side. Actually, like the back parts of Irik's disheveled hair, just the entire of it, and it's very, very strong and saturated. Don't usually see this very often, especially not this strong of a coloration, and it's also enhanced by the obviously orangish and warm candlelight that is illuminating the hair a bit. And you can just see her kind of shyly there. You can see her body posture is very like someone who hasn't moved a lot. You can immediately see that they're just, you know, very stiff and unnatural. They don't really know how their body is placed. And as you kind of come in, she just kind of very subtly raises her hand and just kind of like waves a little bit. And then it kind of just steps inside. Just realized it's very tight fit for all of us inside of here. I apologize.
Right. Actually, Arya and Eirik, do you both mind waiting outside?
Not at all. I'll kind of keep an eye out, make sure nobody's coming to say hi to Endel again.
That'd be appreciated.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And then, gesturing toward the girl, and hi, you can call me Fear.
Oh, hi, Fiora. And you can see this, here's this very, very weak voice coming out of her. As she then tries to raise her hand to kind of, you know, shake your hand. While it's very, very weak. You can see her like shivering a bit as she's trying to lift her hand. My name's Tila. And I should also write it, but it's a simple name. Tila.
The silent X and Q in it, right?
Tequila.
My name's Tequila.
Hi, Tila. Hi, Tila. My name is Isarel, and we are friends with your brother.
Oh. Kind of looks to Endel. You can see she blushes like a little bit. And she says, you're very pretty.
Well, thank you. Would you mind if I kind of looked at you a little bit with my magic hands? I promise you it's not gonna hurt. I just want to see a little bit of what's going on with you, if you don't mind.
No, of course not.
If anything, you might feel a little bit of warmth. That's all it's gonna do. And I'll slowly approach her and show her my hands as they glow up.
Yeah,
and just kind of take her hand to make her feel confident in what I'm doing.
Yeah, she seems like kind of like how to say it. I almost phrase it very weirdly, which I've definitely put it in a different context. Like excited that you are here. You can see her eyes kind of sparkle up as you kind of do this magic. She probably never has seen magic in her entire life, as you can guess, has been staying in this room. And then she, as you kind of go close to her, she says, "Oh, wow, it's like in the books I read." And then you kind of touch her. And then, yeah, what do you do?
I'm gonna Yeah, I'm gonna cast detect poison and disease on her to try to figure out what's happening to her.
Yes. Does it say? Do you get to know what
Yeah.
poison or
It
disease?
says, yeah, it says you also identifying the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. So within 30 feet of me.
Okay, well, the first obvious ping that you get is from outside from Irik's pouch. Since he now has a poison
Yeah.
vial with him. But you do get a extremely strong input from her. Which is... And you get the type of poison, and you're not really entirely sure if it's poison, but it's known as Vilma's Blood Curse. Which I will also write.
Yes, please.
From her, that is kind of affecting her entire body.
Have I ever heard of this?
Can make a history check.
Yeah.
History 20. Yeah, it is not a common disease. Definitely not a common one. And some people even debate whether or not it is a disease. Which is why it was nicknamed the curse. Because some people believe that there's some kind of magical component to it that makes it more like a actual magical curse than a disease itself. And it's believed to be transferred via some sort of there's no specifics, but something to do with blood, definitely, in the sense that, you know, how tieflings gain, you know, their horns through their bloodline. People believe that you can also inherit this curse or this disease, and it's very special because what it does is everyone has like a magical aura or presence that kind of makes up their life force, and it's equivalent to their blood. So you can kind of know one's magical potency via their blood. And for some reason, by victims to have Vilma's blood curse, the blood itself has sort of its own will, where it kind of keeps this life force to itself. And as such, the individual itself is kind of separated from the life force, making them extremely weak. And no one knows, like, why or how that happens. And most people who do have it usually die extremely young. And very often what occurs is just from pure weakness. They would just, you know, die almost as if their entire life force was kind of sapped out of them. And then, you know, they just pass away. And what you would also know is, just adding to that, is there's like no medical cure for it known. You would know with 20 also that you would need a red blood lotus to kind of minor the effect of it if you consume it, if it's prepared properly, which is you assume the medicine that Endo got. And then the only real way you've heard of to get rid of it is to kind of like high magics, like, you know, a greater restoration or stuff like that, are the only ways to kind of get rid of this stuff.
So I would let Dr. Fiera know of what I found, and also let her know. Unfortunately, my magical powers, they're not yet where they would need to be to cure her today. But it's definitely possible to cure her with magical means. It can be done.
Well, looks like that's good news for you. That's one more thing we can work toward. Especially now that your brother is a ward of mine, part of that is coming upon whatever boons we get and resources we stumble upon.
Oh, wow. And you didn't tell me that you're now a ward. Will you go on exciting adventures too? Yeah, probably. Probably have to leave you for some time as well. Kind of sits next to her on the bed, kind of stroking her head a little bit. But don't worry, I will always come back and visit you, alright? I promise.
That's a little bit why we came to see you two, because we want to make sure that while Andal is with us, you stay safe. And you get the care that you need, you know, to make sure that you're strong. And we wanted to offer you our help as well, if you want it.
Yes? I mean, I like reading books.
So there is a way that you could, you know, I where I went to school, they like to do research and they like to read books, and they're always willing to have new students to read books with them, to do research and to find information. That's something you think you would like to do?
Oh, yes. That sounds awesome. But I can't go to school. I can't walk.
That's that's not a problem, sweetheart. We would find a way. Don't worry about it. Not for now, at least. I would need to reach out to my old mentor, but you know, it's a school where you stay there. It's a big academy, and you wouldn't have to walk anywhere. You could just stay in your bed and read books all day.
Wow. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you a princess?
Not quite. I I am a member of the higher society, but I love reading books as well. So I understand how you feel with books.
Wow.
She kind of tries to grab down her bed, reaching for the books, and it says, no, let me do that. And
Take out my favorite book. I want to show it to the princess.
like, okay. And takes it out, and then you can see that she kind of tries to hold up this book, which she is struggling to do, and then she just kind of midway, you can see that she's too exhausted to actually pick up the book itself, and then
I would catch it with her.
and then she says,
I'm very interested in history, so I like to read about, stories of what people don't know.
and she, kind of pushes it towards you so you can take it. And then you can, pick up the book, and then it says Remnants of the Holy War, written by Aurelian Sanchez Triton.
I really like that one. It's got very cool stories inside of it.
Have I read that book through my studies?
You can make a history check.
Man,
Okay.
why does Arya have to be outside during this?
Yeah, bodyguard.
21.
Ah,
You would know that Remnants of the Holy War, especially the author Aurelian Sanchez Triton, this isn't like in any way historical documentation. It's more like an epic saga of someone who's just kind of exploring the world and then just has a travelogue. This is a travelogue of Aurelian Sanchez Triton, who is like traveling the world. Many people are like skeptical about the things he writes because they seem so over the top. It's like literally epic fantasy, but he's saying he has discovered all of this. And this book specifically is that he apparently found like an ancient forgotten ruin at the fallen Archgate, which belonged to the Draconian Imperium. And you would know, and most people would know, the fallen Archgate is, or the region that is coined at, is the large mountainscape in Canaan is what is referred to that. I would, take you on the map so you can know what I'm talking about. And don't worry, viewers, I will also put you there. Let us put you on the entire continent so I can show you. So this, oops, this is referred to as the Fallen Archgate. Where's OBS? So we can switch the scenes. There it is, and then I have to obviously move there. Where the arrow is pointing, that is what. Fiera, you would definitely know this. It's like a thing. It's just
Sounds like part of my job, yeah.
yeah. And then she kind of says, he's like, he says how he goes and he finds all of this cool stuff. And then he makes theories.
Yes.
Wow, I want to do that too. I want to travel, I want to see the world. But I can't.
Well,
Not yet. But that is something we can work toward, and your fate hasn't been decided yet.
So, you're saying that I can also visit the Fallen Archgate?
well, maybe. Who knows? That's what's beautiful about all of this, is that, as Pierre said, your fate hasn't been decided yet. You can still shape it the way you want.
Oh, wow. That sounds so cool if you put it like that. Control of my own fate. Did you hear that, Endale? Yes, yes. I'm here, I'm hearing it. And believe me, they are very capable people who will probably make you just as fit as any other person. And you can go wherever you want. And I will take you wherever you want. That's a promise. Okay.
I would need to contact my mentor and probably arrange things that, so you could be transported up to the academy. But if you are interested in that, that's an option that is on the table. But I do believe, Dr. Piera, you also had an option for her.
Yeah, there's another option. Here in Sunnier, if you wanted to stay here, I could probably get you enrolled in the college. I actually know the headmaster, and he seems like a very kind man. And especially with, well, your ailment, I think we could do some research into it as well.
Yes. Everything sounds so much. And you can see her like kind of start tearing up a bit, and kind of just shivering a bit, as even just feeling strong emotions, it seems like is exhausting her body a bit. And then Ender just kind of strokes her and says, "Oh, I just take a break."
Right. None of this needs to be decided right now. But what we would like to do is have you, I guess, move in with one of us for the time being. We're staying up above, and we definitely have room for you. More comfortable bed and with window view. Oh, and there's service. You can ring a bell, and you can get anything you want.
Any food you want, any drink you want. If you want more books, they can retrieve them for you, or at least try if they have it at the big library.
That sounds awesome. I always wanted to try grape juice.
And they're just like, yeah. And then he kind of like goes to you, Fiora, and just kind of whispers in your ear, and he says, she can't drink anything besides water or eat dry stuff. Her body can't handle anything else.
Oh, well, that's where magic has its perks. I guess I'll take out my water flask, and in front of her, I'll cast Prestidigitation to flavor it like grape juice.
Ah, very nice.
And here, try this.
And then she drinks it. Her eyes widen up, and you can see her like kind of get a sunburst of like euphoria. That's because that's probably the first time she has ever tasted anything other than stale bread and water. And it's such a strong reaction that you can immediately see that she starts coughing. And then it's okay. Not too much. And then she kind of starts getting like a coughing fit. And then after a while, she starts coughing out a little bit of blood even. Okay, that might have been too much of a strong reaction. It's like, I'm good. I'm okay. It tasted very delicious.
You can try some more later.
Okay. And while you're having this heartbreaking conversation outside, Eirik and Arya, what are you doing?
I'm just like actively like kind of looking around, making sure that nobody's just like trying to like sneak up.
Okay, then you can just make a perception check, just keeping your eyes and ears out, seeing if anyone's making suspicious moves. And Eirik, you doing anything?
I'm gonna pull out one of the new boots that I bought, and I'm just gonna start in the heel of the boot. I'm just gonna start to carve out a hole in the heel.
This guy really making heelys. Oh my god.
Arya, like, being aware of everything that's going on, she would look at him and be like, "What are you doing?"
And that is where we're gonna take a break. Just because that's too good. Holy shit. Dang, this dude's really be making heelys. Yes!
Yes!
Yeah, you know
love
what?
that.
You get an inspiration just for that. Holy shit. I love it.
I think I still have an inspiration.
Dang, then just get the inspiration of knowing that you're the guy who just made heelys in my world.
Yeah.
And it's canon. Eirik is the inventor of heelys. What the fuck?
I wasn't nervous at all during our talk, and I've been taking off of my nails.
Oh no.
Wait, what? Wait, what was that?
Yeah,
She's taking notes.
those are my nails.
Oh,
I've been nervous while this entire conversation has been going on, so I've been nervously taking all of them out.
No.
Dang. Okay.
I have 4 left to go.
Oh gosh.
Oh. Oh. Okay. With that semi-nervous breakdown of ripping one's nails off, I think we're gonna take a break.
Great.
Yep, sounds good.
And we are back and excited to see how Eirik is going to respond to Ari's question of asking what the hell he's doing, but we all know that he's making God's work. Heelys.
You're destroying a perfectly good pair of boots. What are you doing?
Oh, I mean, they're perfectly good, but they could easily be better.
Explain your thinking to me, please.
I'm just gonna put wheels in them. It's really not that hard.
You're gonna put wheels in
Yeah.
your boots.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but the things that we've been doing lately have been pretty terrifying, and I'm not about it. I don't really like it. So if I can figure out ways to get myself around a little bit quicker and maybe like out of somebody's reach or something, it's just kind of, you know, just something like more safety for me, I guess. I don't know. It's also just cool.
If it works out for you, I might be interested.
I mean, this is what I do.
I never really knew what you did. I just know that you messed with stuff and you created stuff. I didn't know.
What? Yeah, I mean, there's a whole. I mean, I've been involved, obviously, with the whole chrysalis and all that. And oh yeah, chrysalis. We're still looking for that. Yeah. Anyway, I've worked with that, and there's quite big, sort of elaborate things that I've had my hand on, but when it comes down to it, these are the things that are just that immediate help for somebody's life, and I can get around quicker if I do this. One of my clients, I've mentioned this to you guys before, I built them a rake. It's a rake, but it helps them move leaves and grass and crops faster. It just works better. So if I can figure out ways to advance, the way something gets done, then hey, why not?
Alright. Besides making wheels on shoes, what other cool ideas have you had lately?
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot. I mean, the whole flying that we did the other day, going up around on those on the eagles there, that was really interesting. And I mean, I started thinking about how to make some kind of flying thing. I don't think there's. I mean, I'm not gonna fly us halfway around the country, but just it'd be cool if we were able to do that whole scouting thing without the need of a giant eagle. I don't know how to do it. I mean, it's gonna take a lot of time to do something more elaborate like that. A little set of wheels on some shoes, I can do that, snap of a finger. But I mean, as we're going through all this, and we're annoyingly having to fight people. I mean, I'm probably gonna start figuring out different things to use to maybe help us fight better.
I'd like to hear about all your cool ideas as you get them, just randomly. It's interesting to me.
It's interesting to me too. That's why I do it.
How do you think they're doing in there?
How you doing in there?
Just about done here.
And we switch back inside, looking at them, and Endo kind of then asks to you guys, so are we taking her out today, or how's this gonna work?
I think sooner the better, especially if there's thugs around.
Yes, because that is
And
also...
I need you traveling with me, so I need to make sure she's taken care of.
Yes. So I guess we could leave maybe now. It's getting quite late.
Yeah, prepare as quickly as you can. Just grab what you need, because... Yeah.
Yeah, well, don't have much. I mean, I guess you, Tila, you wish to take all your books with, right? Yes, if I can. Yeah, definitely. Well, take all of the books you want. And then he just, takes one of the blankets, just opens it up, and then starts just placing the books on the blanket, one after the others. And you can see, there's this quite a bit stacks of books there, and then just kind of ties up the bundle, and then just kind of heaves it over his shoulder. And you can see, Endo is like a skinny lad, and it's a bit heavy for him. It's like, phew, oh man, did buy you quite a few books, didn't I? Yes, you're the best brother. It's like, yep. Oh boy. One of you has to carry her out. Like I said, she can't walk on her own.
God. I have -2 strength.
Hold on. Let me see if I can maybe help myself. Yeah, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself before I try to pick up, Tyla.
Okay. Yeah, you can make just a
Actually, hold on. I take it back.
Yes.
I'm considered a medium creature as an elf, or a small creature.
You are a medium.
All right, then I'll finally do it and wild shape into my elk shape.
Well, if you if you wild shape, you become the size of the creature. You don't stay your own size, so you would become large.
Oh right, the
Elks are
freaking
really big.
elk is large. So I'll take the deer shape, which is medium.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely turn into a deer.
Yeah, so I'll take I'll turn into a deer.
Okay.
And like lower myself down enough that we
I'll
can
help her on then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you first have to describe how the fuck you turn into a frigging deer, because as Tila is witnessing as once again her eyes just go wide.
So she would see my eyes kind of glow this galaxy color, and then like kind of a light glow and like encases me, and I lower myself down and just like almost as if I became the color of galaxy, and when I come back to it, there's like this deer,
Okay.
like just laying down there.
She says, and then after you do that, she said, "Wow, Ando, did you see that? She just transformed into a deer, like in the stories." Yeah, I didn't even know she could do that either. Wow, what the fuck? Okay, I guess on her. She kind of puts the books to the side and says, "Alright, I guess better than any of us." And then starts slowly lifting her with the help of you, Fiera, and kind of gently take her off the sheets of the bed, and then somewhat place her on the deer form. And there's like, I guess we should still have someone always like next to her in case she falls off. I don't think she can grab on very tight.
Yep, I can walk right next to her.
And then you can just see that she's like currently just on the deer, and then just kind of stroking the deer. It's like, Wow.
And I'll say in my head, because I still have my own intelligence and my own wisdom. So I still have the mind link, and I'll say in the mind link, oh, by the way, Eirik, Arya, don't be surprised. I'm a deer right now.
You changed into a deer in an apartment?
It's
How big is that apartment anyway?
it's don't worry about it.
Why are you a deer?
We're ready to leave us all.
I mean, I'm not so worried about it in there, but we're just gonna walk. Okay, whatever. Fine, sure, fine.
And then the door opens, and then stepping out is a majestic deer with a tiny girl on it. She's somewhat clasping the sides of your fur, but it's a very weak grip. You know, just kind of barely holding onto it. You barely feel her even grabbing on Isabel, but you know, out comes the deer as a girl, and I was like, don't worry too much. I've seen worse inside of here. Yeah, one time a guy came with a huge badger. Got kicked out, obviously, but wow, was that a guy too? Shit, I never even thought about that. And then he starts.
Endel, how much experience have you had with like magic type stuff?
I've seen it here and there, but somewhat limited.
Oh man, you're in for an adventure.
It's part of his lessons.
Yeah.
Your sister will be writing books about you before you know it. And our adventures.
Ooh, wow. That sounds exciting. Books about me. Never even considered that. And then he starts kind of walking down, kind of daydreaming. And you all walk out.
Yep. With the deer.
Okay. There are like a few others who are kind of walking up the stairs as you kind of go down the stairs. And as you're walking down, obviously Fiera and probably Eirik or Arya, you have to kind of hold on to Tila, since, you know, she isn't able to grip herself enough that she would just literally slide off Isabel. So you kind of just, you know, keep her at place. But you see other people kind of walking up. They obviously give a glance to the deer. It's like, and then just go around their own business, almost as if like, just noted. this has happened today. Okay. But you immediately get the sense they've probably seen worse shit inside of here at some point in their life, which is why they're underreacting. It's like if you see a guy with a parrot on his shoulder on a train. It's like interesting, but I've seen that before. Unless I'm crazy and I'm the only one who's seen a guy on with a parrot before. I even saw a guy who just had a falcon with him, just standing at the train station. I'm like, dang, like, does he even belong there? Christ. Yeah, and you.
So.
Yeah, sorry.
So where are we going right now? You guys all like.
Oh, we're headed back to our, what is it called? Like a dormitory? Where are we staying? We're staying at a, wherever it's called.
The fancy house.
The fancy house, yeah.
Wow, fancy house. Did you hear that, Tila? We're going to a fancy house.
Like a castle. We're going to the high castle.
It kind of stops.
Well, not
turns
the
around.
cat. Like, it's kind of like a little off building, but still fancy.
We're going to the high plains?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sheila, did you hear that? We're going to the freaking high plains. We're stepping up. And she's like kind of like squished onto the deer, so she can't really talk much. And she's like, wow. Can we get there maybe faster? It's a bit uncomfortable.
Oh my god.
It's like, yes, of course. And then you kind of quickly go down the stairs and steps, avoiding a few people, and then coming out again and then she isn't in that awkward position anymore. As you kind of step out, walking out of the solemn homes, with, you know, a lot of people mingling about. You do get a few eyes from a few people who are just, you know, you are still a group of individuals walking out with a deer. And you just see a few people that's kind of raise an eyebrows, like, and then they look at the thing they're smoking, and then they just nod.
Yep.
As you kind of make your way out. Okay, so where would you like to go then with Mrs. Tilla? Back to your place. Direct routes, I presume?
I think there's the quickest way there, right?
Yeah, the quickest, like least conspicuous way, like the yeah, just the quickest
I don't know
way.
if
I
that
think.
exists.
Okay. Yes. Which means you will just have to step your way all the way to crossing harbor, and then make your way to kind of eastern military barracks, going then through the noble district to then enter the high plains. And I
Easy.
will say, yeah, most of the journey goes undisturbed. You know, there are a lot of people with like donkeys and horses running around the streets, so seeing a deer isn't that out of place. And you do live in a place populated by a lot of elves, so seeing a wild-shaped druid also isn't that uncommon. Like I said, a guy with a bird on his shoulder. It grabs attention, but isn't necessarily, you know, like eye-soaringly attention-grabbing. So after a few
Not
hours...
necessarily super suspicious. It's just
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah, it's just like, oh, who's got a deer with a kid on it? You kind of look like a what's it called? These like medieval fun fair expeditions where you can experience the traditional way of traveling, something like that. It looks like that, as if this is some sort of experience that you can sign up, where you can ride a deer through the city. It's exactly like that.
Make a Wish Foundation medieval.
Yeah, medieval edition.
Yeah.
The track will take a bit of time, since you also have to go a bit slower, since Tila, you know, if you go too fast, you know, the shoulder muscles of the deer obviously kind of wobble her a bit, and she would get nauseous otherwise, but with a steady pace you can make it there. So you will probably have to use almost all of your wild shapes to keep the form, because I think you can only keep it for 1 hour, right? So
It's like should be his number many hours is her character level rounded down, I think.
Oh, it's like 3 hours.
It is 3 hours, yes.
Oh shit. Well then, wait, is it like in total or per wild shape?
You can stay in beast shape for 3 hours before reverting back to your normal form, or as a bonus action earlier if you fall unconscious, drop to 0 points, or die.
Okay, then.
So per wild shape.
Yes.
And I have 2, so I have 6 hours total.
Well, it will only take like about 2.5 hours to get back to the high plains themselves, walking all the way here, and you can see that Tila is, you know, flabbergasted all the way, seeing and taking in the city, and then seeing different people, which, you know, doesn't seem like that special, but for someone who never left their rooms, this is a super exciting expedition for her, and you can see she's like trying to take in everything that she's experiencing. Christ, I can't talk. And, you know, trying to remember this as she's kind of holding on to Isarel, but in the end, you know, as you get to like the military gates, some of the soldiers do kind of just look at you weirdly. It's like, why are you taking a deer inside of the high plains? But, you know, you just say you're part of the high society, and they're like, okay, in you go, I guess. And after a while, you do end up at where would you like to take her specifically? then as you kind of reach the high plains?
I mean, I believe my room had a couple beds, right? Because there was one for me, then one for my mother. I don't know if, oh, gosh, I should have known the bodyguard's name. But I assume
Teliel.
there were a couple beds. Teliel.
Yeah, there were 2 beds. Teliel doesn't sleep. He doesn't need sleep.
Right.
He sleeps while he's standing.
Yeah.
Yes, there are 2 beds.
Well, I'm fine with you two sharing a room with me. There's plenty of space.
So
Probably
you.
the easiest way.
Talk,
Yeah, I'm speaking. Yes, to you and your sister.
I'm just. I've never seen that much stuff on a house before. Like, does it have a purpose? Why are the leaves made out of gold? Wow. Crazy. Just.
I'll just let him take it in.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I mean, whatever fits for you. I didn't want to, over encumber
Oh.
our stay.
Well, now that you're my ward, it is my responsibility to take care of you and your sister, so yeah, you can stay with me.
Oh, yeah. And kind of then walk to Fiera's room. Once they get inside, once again they basically just get falcon punched in the face each time by just this sheer amount of just extra that is here. And it's like, ugh! What is that? Why does a table have so much engravings on it? And
just try to let it just slide, all right? Because if this is impressing you, the world, I mean, just try to let it be.
that painting, the frame, it looks more expensive than my life. How am I supposed to let this slide? And this mirror kind of looks into the mirror.
Yeah, you do need a bath.
A bath. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
And I'll make sure to take care of your sister as well.
If you think this is fancy, you haven't seen the Lichness Temple a little further down. That's fancy, even for me.
Yeah, eventually, I'm sure you and your sister probably come to my home. I'm actually from Canaan. Things there are even more different than they are here. Especially if you wanted to go to that ruin. Oddly enough, I am actually an archaeologist. Well, at least, I guess I used to be. Now I'm not sure what I am.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that, Endel? We can go to the Fallen Archgate and discover new mysteries.
I mean, I'm already discovering shit here. I mean, look at the walls. What's it made out of? Kind of just touches the whole wall. And then just kind of sticks his cheeks to it and it just slides down. Wow.
Jesus. It's gonna be
I'll
hard to
just
do
grab
training
his
tonight.
shirt and be like, "Okay, you don't be doing that." Like,
But I have to.
no.
I have
no.
this sudden urge to touch everything. Do you
Don't. Just
Yeah.
You don't need to do that.
You can explore tonight
And then,
after training.
training?
Well, yes, every day now.
Oh, Christ. And then,
Training, lessons.
alright, I guess. And then he kind
I
of
mean,
gets...
if you want, you can go back.
No, I've signed the contract. I'm stuck with you for 5 years now. And then he
Yep.
marches to the room, and you do then arrive at the room and put Tila in the nice comfortable bed where she literally just falls into because it's so soft, almost suffocating her. It's kind of like, wow. I mean, I'm a bit overwhelmed. Yeah, that's how I felt too, Tila, but I guess get used to it. This is our new life. And we'll make the best out of it. Yes. Yes. And she just kind of closes her eyes a bit and then seems like she starts to fall asleep. She probably was, this entire thing was probably so exhausting for her. Just, lying on the back of a deer is hard. And, kind of, and they'll just take some of the blankets and then puts it over her, covering her up a bit. And says, okay, that's settled then.
Great. Oh, so we need somebody checking in on her while you're out and about. So I'll go over and pull the rope.
Yep. And in a short while, the attendant comes. Yes, hello, you have called for me? How may I help?
Yes, I'll be having a guest stay for a few days. They do need some needs taken care of. Here, why don't we do this? And I'll take out a piece of parchment, an inkwell. Alright, so every 6 hours, you need to come and check on her. The door will be unlocked as she cannot move. I'd recommend maybe a female attendant, someone that's good with kids. And just, talk to her, see if she needs food or water. And I'll kind of point over to the bed to Tila. Her name's Tila. Are you catching this all?
Yes, of course.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm just keep writing down instructions. Endel, what can she drink and eat?
Only water, and only dry and easily digestible stuff. So like, very dry bread, like crackers. Usually we mix crackers and water so she can more easily digest it. So things that are very easily digestible. Yeah, so nothing too fancy, I guess. The lieutenant kind of says, yes, of course. Anything else?
And if you can procure a change of clothes for her, I can pay for it once they're found. Something her size and comfortable.
Of course we can get a change of clothes. No need for pay.
Oh, perfect.
And if possible, could we have one of when they have a little bit of free time, because I know it's been hectic in the past day or so. When one of the clerics of the castle or either the temple are available, if they could come and check up on her. She does have a disease that needs attending to if we don't want her condition to worsen. So if they could maybe just check up on her and make sure that we have what's needed here, or else we're gonna procure it and have it shipped here so that it can be given to her.
Yes, I can try and acquire a clerical figure. Of course.
Perfect.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, just write down all those instructions and make sure my name's on the bottom. And also her name, Tila. And as and him, yeah, see, it's taken care of. We'll leave well, I guess you have a key, so we can lock the door and you can let yourself in.
Yes. Very well. Then I shall go on to my duties then. If you don't mind.
Thank you.
And then he runs off.
While they were doing that little conversation, I'm gonna start helping Endel take all the books out of the sack or the blanket.
Yeah.
And as I start taking them out, I'm gonna thumb through them all like this, just as I pick them up, and each one I'm going to cast mending on so that tears and rips and scuff marks and everything disappear.
Nice.
Reading them again, everything's going to be nice and brand new for.
Yes. Okay. You can definitely do that as you kind of skim through the books. And it kind of looks at you as you do that. And says, wow. That's really useful. But yeah, I can learn that sometime.
Oh, speaking of which, we do need to begin your
handy.
lessons.
What?
So Discord's being really wonky, isn't it?
Yeah, you are lagging sometimes, Greg.
Robo Greg entered the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
fine now.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Hopefully.
No.
No.
Robo Greg is still there.
Oh, it looks like there's a rave going on in the background too.
Oh, I think we
No.
completely lost them.
Yeah.
I think he's
Rip.
probably just restart. Well, just say whatever you want to say, Fiora. While he's
Oh, yeah, just in the I'll give him like 5 seconds here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Oh.
Jeez.
There he is.
Oh, no.
No.
No, you're still a robot.
Oh, wait. I think it's just
No.
like a temporary thing. I think we just have to wait it out.
Well, to Endel, we should begin our lessons. It's late, and today is your first day of your new life.
Yes. Okay, then I guess what do I have to do?
I bring out my work notebook, flip to a page. On it, there are lines of things to do for a physical workout. There's lines of things to do for lessons for like mental strength, like history and languages, that kind of thing, etiquette. And then there's a thing about like sharing kind of my work. Then the bottom is the shadow weave and teaching him about that. So first, we're going to work your body. So let's go outside. And I'll kind of say to everyone else, come get me if you need me. Otherwise, we'll be busy.
Have fun.
Okay. And he kind of walks out with you. Yeah, and then you step outside, I guess.
So first things first, we need to get your body in proper shape. Obviously, we'll get you well fed and make sure you have all the water and substance you need to fuel a healthy body. But also, we're going to work it to the bone and rebuild it from scratch.
Excuse me? Are you going to whip out my bones and replace them?
Something like that. But no, that's going to be for you to do. So I need you to run around this building 10 times. And then do 100 push-ups.
100 push-ups?
100 sit-ups. And I go through like 4 more exercises. And if you don't complete this in the next couple hours, I'll add even more. So you might want to get to it.
I mean, can't I maybe like at least take a break today? We've been like through a lot.
No, because your life might be in danger tomorrow. And I'll be counting.
And then he starts jogging and starts going around the building. You can see, a few other high-standing nobility who are like walking around and just kind of looking at you weirdly. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Why the hell is this weirdo joking about our living space? But after, in the first laps, he comes around, he kind of just sits in the distance like, oh wow, this place looks a little bit broken down. What has happened here? As he kind of passes you.
Oh, yeah, that was the demon attack.
He comes back around. Is still safe here?
Oh, yep. It was actually fully dealt with, so we are in safe.
And it's not a common occurrence?
Nope, quite rare, actually. Oh, you have 2 more, by the way.
and
One more! Good job. I got some water for you, actually.
please. Takes the water skin and just pours it down his entire face.
Lovely. So we'll be doing this every day until your body starts to gain proper shape.
Every day? They're killing me?
Yes. Well, actually, this will help you survive. You see, well, we'll go through the lessons one at a time, but the long and short of it is the magic I use places quite a toll on the body. So, and if your body isn't in proper shape, then you probably won't be able to withstand it.
Really? I don't mean to offend, but you don't look in that good of a shape yourself.
Ooh,
I mean, like, from a physical standpoint. Oh Christ! It just plumps down onto the ground. I can't feel my legs.
good. That's a good sign. Well, to be blunt, what I do pulls magic that amplifies my mind and gives me the information of, well, beyond. What I plan to do with you is a separate line, but still similar. I plan to have you bring another version of yourself here, temporarily.
What?
I know, it's very complex. See, if I tried it, I wouldn't be able to do it for very long, and there wouldn't be a lot of reason. As I cast magic. I'm not a sword wielder, like you put. I don't really have a physique. I have a different study.
I just wanted to become apprentice of a wizard, to not whatever the hell you're making me into.
But you want to survive, yes?
Yeah, the same way you do.
Let's just say I plan to bring out your full potential in a slightly different way.
He puts his head into the ground. And his...
You see, I'll be making you, well, one day you'll probably meet my brother, but he's kind of made a name for himself as a knight. Oh, he's a legionnaire.
Turns his head back out again. A legionnaire? As in... a crusader legionnaire?
Yes. And he can cut down the swaths of demons and all sorts of evils. Just with his sword.
But doesn't he have, like, divine blessings and stuff like that?
Of course. And that keeps him safe. And that amplifies his own abilities. But for the most part, it's just himself.
Yeah, but...
I'd-
So,
Well, like to bring you to that level.
But
Just using a different method.
Christ, you're insane. She must have went through like years and years of training.
Yes, which is why we won't be able to rest a single day. Sorry, you won't be able to rest a single day.
Puts his head back into the ground. And you see a.
Look, how about I show an example? I can show you what your best self is supposed to look like.
Okay.
I guess, can I walk us to a place that is less populated away from people?
Yeah, it's now, as you're looking
It's
around,
getting dark.
it's getting dark and it generally has become a lot less populated than it was before for,
Perfect.
obvious reasons. Yeah, still most of the buildings are in, some of them in Sham. Dang, that came from deep down. Yeah.
Okay. So I said I wanted to show you how to bring out another version of yourself. Because wouldn't it be better if when you were fighting there were 2 of you? Or maybe even 3?
Yeah, what about just 1,000?
Well, maybe one day. Well, for now, let's try with 2. And I will cast Fortune's Favor at 3rd level, so it's on both of us. And as I do, see, this spell kind of lets you see all possibilities. You'll be able to see yourself, you'll be able to say what you might do, what you might not do, maybe what you've done. Maybe you see a version of yourself that is better. And I cast a spell on us.
He kind of waits and he says, "Hold on! Isn't this the same spell you casted on me when you said you were tracking me?"
Oh, no, that was actually a different spell. That was actually just to make it a little faster.
Oh, that's
I
too...
lied.
I'm distracted by the cat. Shit! He's like, "Oh, well, it looks and feels very similar."
Right. So let's see how you do. Can I get my dagger back, by the way? You don't need it anymore, right?
I guess not. Gives it back.
And I go to stab him.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Oh, I think I deleted dagger. Hang on. Let me put it back in my sheet.
I think you can just make a straight dex.
Well, I'm proficient with it.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Mhm.
your... Was it your dex or strength modifier?
I think it's
I think
dex
I
because it's a
got it.
finesse weapon, so you can just add your...
There we go.
Or just add it. Just always easier.
Do.
And try and stab poor Endale.
Damn.
Why
15.
are you stabbing?
You actually miss. He still has his shield.
Oh, good.
So he kind of just, as you see that, he just instinctively puts the shield in front of him, and then you hit his shield. It's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? You trying to stab me?
I forgot. We're also doing combat training every day. And I go stab him again.
Okay, roll again.
Don't accidentally kill him.
I'm going for non-lethal. My brother trained me.
That will hit him. A 17. So you can.
Okay. Can I try to do just like 1 damage?
I would say since he's like actively trying to dodge him, and you have to like make an effort to hit him, you aren't like a proficient fighter.
I mean, no. Okay.
So
4 damage.
4 piercing damage.
You're gonna kill Endel.
You just stab him right in the gut between his studded leather armor, and you just see his eyes widen up. It's like, and then he kind of falls to his knees. He's still like somewhat standing, but you can see like him shivering in the pain he's just felt. It's like, this, no, please, this, no more, please. This,
Then learn to fight back, and
what am I supposed?
attack me. I'm gonna stab again if you don't start swinging.
He kind of tries to go back on his feet. Can't see him wincing from the pain, and then it's like, kind of goes on with like a small battle cry, and then we'll try and hit you for a 13.
So he does hit, but it just scratches against my mage armor.
Wow, and he just like,
Not quite. Focus. I just gave you the ability to see a better you. Find a you that works better than this one. Now again.
and he tries to launch again with his rapier. With a 25, a natural 20.
I mean, I can't shield that, so.
Holy shit! Oh my god! So
and no.
you get that,
Ow.
and
Okay.
not only that, but also since you take an additional, as he kind of specifically aims for a vital point, an additional 11 damage. As he goes right through your chest, as he kind of stabs through, and you can see this kind of just fire inside of his eyes, as he is desperately trying to not have you stab him again. That was a traumatic experience for him, for being stabbed for the first time, and there's this kind of now active precision and survival instinct that has just automatically kicked in, where just stabs you, and once he notices that he, like, you know, hit you really hard, he's like,
You can pull it out.
I'm
You can pull it
sorry. Okay, and then he just yanks it out.
See?
I
You have the potential to be a great person. You're gonna have to learn to fight. You're gonna have to learn to stand your ground. And it looks like a part of you already knows how to defend yourself.
yeah, I had to do a bit of fighting back in the days, but I didn't, you know, try to escape that life. Okay, I think I'm understanding what you're saying. Do I have to stab you again?
Were you able to use the spell I cast on you?
No, I think I just slipped back into the zone.
Okay. I guess I'll walk him through how to focus on controlling how he's seeing all these different versions of what's going on, and then try to have him attack me one more time, picking up the best route.
Okay. Well, we can just say now, since, you know, training will encompass a lot of time, that you then go through the more in-depth procedures.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, shock him anymore.
Yeah,
Yes.
he got that one kick that kind of woke him up, and you can definitely see he's definitely like accustomed to fighting. You gain an immediate sense that he does have some experience, and his movements are in a similar vein as how Arda sometimes move, where he, you know, is very nimble and tries to, you know, kind of closely dodge stuff, and then, you know, hit with precise things, but then immediately step back to get out of the range. So you do sense, he probably did have some suppressed experiences that one stab you gave him definitely reawoken past experiences. But as you kind of teach him through the steps, I will say for this, since this is kind of like an Endel skill challenge, this will obviously to train him will take several days, if not even
Right.
months.
That's why we're doing this literally every day.
Yes, where we will kind of just have a sort of a roll that you make, and then we will just see over the progress of the time how successful that is, and then that's how we're going to like manage his growth. And I would say for tutoring him, I would say you can make just a straight intelligence roll, since it's kind of your proficiency and you're kind of relying that to him.
Okay. If I use inspiration, could I do it with advantage?
Definitely. You can obviously first roll and see if the
Oh, yeah.
and then if you
What?
even need it.
Intelligence.
A 13.
Yeah, I think I can do better. I'll use it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do worse. Oh, yes!
Oh my god, what the hell? That happens every time, I feel like. Always if I
Every
get someone
time, yeah.
inspiration, it's like a natural 20.
He is my protege.
Okay, what I will say is he needs 10 successes until he gains his first level in what you want to achieve, which is what you sent to me. Right? You want to make him,
Yeah.
So that is a natural 20, so that's immediately 2. So he has 2 from 10 in his progress bar.
Nice.
Putting him one step further and closer to what he needs to become. I will say, just so you also know mechanically, since you're now, spending time with him and training him, he is a rogue. So he has a few levels in rogue already.
Okay.
Which is why that hit was so strong, because that was a sneak attack. So yeah.
I was like, those extra dice.
Yes. And after training with them, you would definitely learn that he is a rogue.
Oh man, that's gonna be interesting.
If you want Arya's help with anything.
I believe Fiera's trying to nudge him in a different direction anyway, so does he want to keep him how he is or not? Yeah. But that is what happens there, and while that is occurring, we can step back to the other people who are inside, since that will take the entire evening. What are you guys doing?
I'd be checking in with Izrael to see how she's doing. Like, we haven't really had a chance to talk much. Just us.
Yeah, I would probably spend the better part of the evening just chatting with Arya and just trying to figure out, like, what's going on, and just have a chat to like, girls' time, basically.
How are we feeling about what's going on? All of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And Eirik, are you all spending the time in the same room, or have you separated?
Oh, no, I would have gone back to my own room.
Yeah, we probably would have ordered us some dinner too.
Okay, yes, you would have gotten a very delicious meal. And yeah, talk about stuff then. Eirik, I guess. Anything specific?
Yeah, once I finish with my my mending of all the books, I'll just realize that those two have already disappeared, and I'd be like, okay, Tila, are you okay?
Oh wait, no, she fell asleep.
Oh, okay, good.
And
In my head, in your head, you just hear, "Oh yeah, sorry, Eric, we left. We went to get girl time, and we're ordering meal to our room. Good night.
Cool, great. Yeah, have fun. Yeah, sure. I'll just go back to my room and I'll start. I'll keep working on my Heelys,
Okay.
and I'll start sketching out a new idea.
Yes. Well, you do have to invent a different name for Heelys. You can't just use Heelys.
No, I know, of
We
course.
need an Iric specific name for
Yeah.
the god's gift that has been given to this world now. A divine blessing. All right. Then you'll kind of recline back to your rooms, and Fiera probably after your training, after that's done, and you feel confident in your tutoring and pleased with yourself and with the progress Enelf has made, would also probably return back to the same room since you are occupying
Yep.
same room. And there's anything else you would like to do for the evening before taking your rest?
I would just make sure they both have a nice bath and meal before bed.
Yes, you do see that, as you say, bath, and you ask for help. A few attendants will also be there to kind of help. However, Tila is currently asleep, so you would have to wake her if you would
Yep.
do that. So you would wake her.
Yeah.
Okay, since she, kind
Nudge
of
her.
is, as she wakes up, she is seems extremely disorientated and is kind of, half conscious there. And Eno kind of explains that she has to sleep like literally 16 hours a day, otherwise she won't cope. So yeah, that's why she's so bedridden. And then, yeah, the attendants just kind of take care of them, cleaning them, stuff like that. And they come out clean with new clothing. And Del as well, he also received like a small, almost like butler suit. And Tina like a nice small pinkish dress. You can see that one of the attendants who was kind of dressing her was like a female half-elf, a similar age, just kind of starts to tear up a bit as she's dressing Tila. And then the other of the attendants just says, get it together, alright? Things happen. And it's just like, it's just so sad. And then starts dressing her. Okay. And if there's nothing else, you can all go to sleep. And then, of course, the most exciting part is, will anything happen?
I set up alarms on the door, the window, and both beds.
Okay.
Because you can set multiple alarms.
Yes. Then, as you all go to sleep, and the night sky covers the city of Sonania, and your eyelids close, nothing happens, and you all get a long rest. As you then wake up refreshed of having a very comfortable day. The last day, not much has happened. And instead, waiting for you is, of course, the day of the tournament. And the guy did say it takes place in the morning, so I presume you all would kind of make the effort to wake up early enough to arrive there. Unless you don't, then you don't.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, then. Yeah, I'll say you probably wake up at 8. Coming together. And yeah, what would you like to do for this next day?
So you all are going to be down below. Obviously, just make sure you take care of yourselves, since this is going to be a interesting figure fighting.
Yeah, still kind of freaked out about that. Gonna be honest. Like, we're just willingly, like, we're not the best fighters. And now we're just willingly going somewhere that's built for fighting.
We're
Really
not
to watch,
necessarily
though.
fighting tonight. We're
Well,
just
no, but
No,
I
we're-
mean,
We're going to watch a show.
yeah, come on. We have to go all the way back underground and get there. We're gonna be followed by people again. This speaks, I don't.
It'll be okay. It'll be fun.
I mean, I'm sure they've taken precautions.
I don't know if they have. They didn't seem too, like, bothered by the fact that we might just die.
Well, also remember, he got captured on his own volition. So he might not be the person he used to be. I guess we don't really know. Either way, it's going to happen regardless. So we either take part of it and take care of ourselves, or we become ignorant.
I mean,
And I've already paid for my tickets, so
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed my life of ignorance before all of this started.
Yeah, me too. Same page, Eric.
make sure to stretch.
Nice.
We gotta get your body in shape.
Okay. At least you don't have to do this, Eric. Fuck.
That's why you don't sign papers.
He just looks silently on the floor while he's stretching.
I mean, if you want, you can become warded to me as well. I could
No,
probably
I'm
help.
fine. I'm fine. Thanks.
I can
thanks.
teach you a couple things.
No, it's okay.
Don't
It's
do it.
okay.
Don't do it, Eric. Don't do it. She's a monster. She's a true
Stretch.
monster.
Stretch.
I am stretching. I'm just giving you tips. Don't listen to
I
her.
don't need tips.
Oh,
Hmm.
Careful what you wish for, Endel. I might be training with our Dr. Fiera here soon. It's
Wait.
on my mind.
he's now just silent.
It is my goal to help bring out everyone's potential in all countries. One day, I'll find something.
Okay, so will you
the
then
pit?
go to the pit? Which route do you wish to take, since you now know of 3 different entrances that you can take?
Well, in either case, I'd like to make sure that I can go back to the steel smith so I can pick up my wheels.
Okay, well, it'll be a long detour, since, you know, the thing is there, and to get to the smithy, you will have to go there. So, you'll have to make this detour if you wish to do that.
Well, I need my wheels.
Yep. I mean, depending on others, if everyone else is okay with Irik's wheels.
As long as we get there in time, sure.
Okay.
Well, let's go. And just beeline there. Try to get there quick.
Okay.
Walk fast.
So a brisk pace is what is going on. A brisk pace down the high plains. And yeah, you make all your way there as you're just kind of walking normally and going through the town once again. It does take a while, but with a brisk pace you can definitely get there in kind of like 1.5 hours. And yeah, you arrive at the steelsmith, who delivers you your wheels made out of nice solid compressed steel, and you paid in advance. Am I correct?
I paid for
I thought he did because he had to pay extra because it was a special order.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I also have. Like 5 gold, I think it was, something like that.
yes, yeah.
Yes, then you know you're there, he just kind of greets you, and then you can just kind of pick it up. No worries. And unless you want to make another order before you leave.
No, that was it. I'll give him 2 gold as a tip.
Alright. Thank you very much. Come back anytime you need anything else.
Much appreciated.
And you then make your way to the pits. Now once again, would you take down the new Riven pit in the underground, or would you take the one where you last came out of, which is just the Oakway district, and then just walk down from there, the stairs that lead down there?
I think the Oakway district, was it? The one over here?
Yes. Okay. Then, yep, you just kind of step on to the one larger building that you entered in the first place. That kind of looks a bit like a town hall. And you proceed downwards and going down these steps. And you can see a lot of people are actually now going down at the same time, probably for the same reason. Also wanting to visit the spectacle that's about to happen, and you can hear a lot of, just small talk amongst the people, just gossip around about how excited they are about the tournaments themselves, or they bought the tickets, and obviously some people mentioning Calyx the Everdamned and how they are very excited that they have came. And when you walk down there, once again you can see the Velon pit itself is structured in a way where there's just this big circle in the middle that seems to go down the sea level. And now that you're kind of walking down and are actually looking at the pit itself, you do see that the pit goes down there, and there are just rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of seats that go below the sea level. However, once again, you can see it is surrounded by docks, and you can witness all these large ships that have docked around it. And most of these ships have these platforms atop of them, where you can see where people have set up chairs and stuff like that, where people can then also watch into the pit while they're still on their ships. So their docks are there to also kind of be like a balcony. And the other thing you notice, which you kind of didn't see the first time you were there, directly over the pit itself, there is this kind of like a glass kind of column that comes down a bit, and you can also see people walking inside of there, and that is most likely the Sky Lounge, as it's kind of sitting directly above the pit itself. And obviously you will have the best view if you sit there, because you can just look straight down, because the floor is also made out of glass. So you're literally looking down onto the pit. You can see as you're now walking down, and the large bridge that connects to it is filled with a lot of people. Most people haven't entered the arena yet, and it seems like they are just making preparations to let the people inside of the arena. So you can see that the arena is currently unoccupied, and most of the people have kind of gathered at the bridge itself. Is there anything you would like to do while you're kind of waiting in the big line?
Just
Oh, go ahead.
I was just I'm doing my normal looking around, making sure that we're not drawing anybody's attention directly.
Yep, can definitely do that. Make a perception check. Was a 16. Yes. You're looking around the people that are surrounding you are most of them seem to be in a similar vein of, you know, like mercenary folk. You don't see a lot of people who are dressed like you. Most people also have like some sort of weapon next to them, a holstered sword, a few daggers tucked behind their back or stuff like that. Some even came with a backpack. And this area definitely attracts Jesus Christ, kind of people who would, you know, enjoy to see blood, obviously. So most of them, maybe like 80% of them, are probably like either members of the protection bands or mercenaries or some other sort of sellsword that have made their way here. You do see that on the very right side, there are people like kind of going with rowboats, kind of going past you, and are immediately kind of somewhat skipping the line and going straight towards the pit itself. And you do see that the people who are inside of these rowboats are dressed more eloquently, kind of looking a bit more like you. With you, I mean Fiera, Isarel, and Arya. So there's these kind of people who presumably have more money, have their own way to get there. Anyone else like to do something as I'm trying to figure out why the fuck my audio isn't working?
I'm just anxiously waiting for the fights to start.
Okay, then I will just quickly close Roll20. I apologize, that's the audio. Go back, and sometimes, you know, Roll20 doesn't like things to go well for me. Is what I have gathered. And no, nothing is working. Oh man. What if I do this? Oh, it's working. Oh, I hate it.
Would I have been able to do like mage armor and alacrity in the morning?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Definitely. Whatever preparations you would have made, you could have made them. And say them now.
All I got. Low on
Okay.
pearls.
Then those are the preparations made. You then hear kind of like drums being, you know, beaten. Dun, 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 dun. And the crowd starts moving, as that was probably the sign that is leading the people inside. And as the crowd moves, you know, people are starting to cheer and stuff like that. You do see on the sides, very sides of the bridge, there are a few stands set up there that you kind of weren't able to see very well, since you're kind of mingling in the middle. That where people are just selling food or even like merchandise. You can see like little self-made crowns and stuff like that, little trinkets, drinks and stuff like that. And you can see a lot of people are kind of going there. You obviously hear the occasional complaint that everything here is too expensive, but they still buy a lot of stuff there. People just kind of, you know, getting snacks for the feast and the drinks to accompany them. Would you also like to buy something to eat or drink while you step inside of the arena?
Eric. Ezreal. Would you like anything to drink or eat while we watch this fight?
Not really. I feel like my stomach might go on a little bit of a roller coaster here, so...
Okay. Fiera, are you still nearby us, or did you already go up to your box seats?
I guess, would I have noticed if this is the right line, or is there a different line for golden ticket holders?
Yeah, Aria, you notice those people on the boat? They were probably people who had like golden tickets.
So Fear's not with us anymore?
No, she is still with you because she didn't went on a
Okay.
boat.
Okay. So I'm going to, just in case anything happens and I'm not with you, Fiora, I'll be in touch with my mind. You need me, just yell.
Good idea.
Let's see. Good for 4 hours.
Perfect.
But I'll try to find a vendor and maybe get like just something to drink.
Okay, yeah, you can then spend a silver for an ale if you like.
Yeah, I'll spend a silver.
Okay. And then the rest of you kind of then just walk slowly forward. And then after, quite a long time, this is a long, long line, you do eventually get to the counters itself. You can see there are multiple, what seems to be like armored dwarven guards that are here. Which is a bit unusual. And some of, you would probably recognize them in a similar vein as Mr. Steelhammer, the bodyguard of Tyrone. Seem to be like probably from Colossus, who are set up here, and you can see that next to them each is a gnome who's like kind of checking the tickets of the people who are stepping inside. And what you can also see now is you kind of get to the front, the entrance that is leading into the pit, that is kind of just a staircase going down. Next to them are two fat, huge golems made out of steel, just standing there with a huge shield on one side placed on the floor and one heavy sword that is also just slammed into it. It's not pointed, the blade. It's literally just a steel slab, and one edge of it has been sharpened, but it does look well crafted, probably specifically made for these constructs that are kind of sitting here. You do see their eyes are glowing. They are shaped kind of like, I have a good reference for it, but probably most of you wouldn't know it. It has like a tube-like body and then a smaller tube-like head that's sitting in front of it with two eye slits. Very chunky arms and quite long as well, looking almost like a gorilla. And then legs that are a bit shorter than the arms. So the arms can actually touch the floor itself while standing upright. So very heavy and very large, and you can just see they're made out of extremely strong and durable steel plates. They're kind of standing there, and each of them have a very distinctive iconography that has kind of been labeled onto the shield itself, where you can see what's it called? The coat of arms of Colossus, very obviously placed on there. Yes, and whereas you kind of walking along, the other thing you do notice is, since you kind of look and see all the ships around there, there's that wide ship that you saw when you first came here. This very squat wide ship with what almost look like a castle that's sitting on top of it. There are another set of two heavy golems that are also placed on top of it, and just rows and rows of armored dwarves who look a little bit different than the ones who are currently at the counter, like checking the tickets and guarding the place. They have a helmet that looks like a lion head with a kind of steel mane placed behind it that is completely encapsulating their head, and you can only see like their eyes between the slits of where the mouth of the lion head is kind of wide open. And there's this like very intricately gold armor across all of them. Each one of them also has a draped kind of half cape going off their left shoulder, and carrying a big fat warhammer on their right hand, and they're just kind of standing on the ship with these two other golems that are there. And as you get to the counter, you can see the gnome saying, "Alright, tickets please." Okay,
I draw mine in Delph.
Scow Lounge attendants. Why didn't you take the private entrance? If you just follow around the corner there should be an elevator that should take you up to the Sky Lounge. Here you are.
Perfect.
He clips them. Have a nice day. Next one. And takes the one for Eirik. Alright. Thank you very much. Here you go. And then for Isoel. Alright. Okay. Pass by. Thank you very much. And then you are all inside. And you kind of go in there. Fiera, you have to now depart from the group. So if there's anything you'd like to say before you depart.
Well, enjoy the show and take care of yourselves.
Take care.
Why does that have to sound so ominous?
Eric, it'll be fine.
I mean, we could have guts flying in our faces in a few minutes from now, so it's a legit concern.
We'll be fine.
Oh yeah, we'll be fine. I don't know about our clothes, but we will be fine.
Oh.
We can keep in touch.
Okay. Oh, luckily we'll be up there. So we can see you. And you can probably see us as well. Wow. I wonder.
I can talk to you, Endel. You can hear me.
Can you?
Yes.
He tries to speak in his head. You did the connection with Eirik, Isero, and Fiera, right?
No, I left Eirik out.
Ah, okay.
He doesn't like when people's in his head.
Okay, he says, oh. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, then we can even talk. Wow, exciting. I'll probably get some snacks. And he just kind of waddles over.
Oh, are we gonna change who has Glamour's ring? Because it's a new day.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we can do that.
If you-
Anybody want glamour?
Still
Nobody
not
wants
sold
them.
on it.
I can hang on to him. We're having fun talking about his new glamour wear, and I'm going to be his future partner.
Azrael? Did you
Yeah, I
want-
can have him for the day. I don't mind it.
Hey, glamour.
Yes.
You're going to get passed to my lovely friend, Izarel. So a new voice to talk to. But keep thinking about your glamour wear, and we'll... In a couple days, when you come back, you can tell me all about your ideas.
Oh, right. I am already excited. Ooh, the plans that I've made. I wish I could write them all down. But I can't.
It's okay. I'm sure you've got a great memory, and you'll remember them all.
I really don't. I really don't. You have to write them down for me. We have to have a writing session.
Okay. Next time we talk, I will sit down and right before I go to bed, and we'll write down everything.
Okay. That sounds like a brilliant plan. Can't let these glamorous ideas go to waste.
All right, glamour. Goodbye. And I take off the ring.
Okay. And then pass it over to Iswell.
Hey, Azrael, if he tries to talk to you about any of his glamour wear ideas, you have to let me know so I can write them down for him.
Okay, I guess. And I'll put the ring on.
Well, we'll just say this took place over the long rest, so you can attune to it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to hear his voice since you have to attune to the ring first.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just say you arrive at the arena with the ring in your hands. Oh, hello. And then who is my new host?
Ignoring him right now.
Oh, I guess no one.
Good choice.
Alright. We're back to brainstorming. Now and then he just kind of talks to himself while he's brainstorming glamour wear ideas. in the pit itself, you guys separate. Eirik, Isorel, and Arya, you just walk down the stairs and you can see it's literally like, you know, a typical Colosseum where it's just a round seats that are round seats. Christ. Sets of rows of... Oh, I can't talk. Jesus Christ. Rows of benches. But it's made out of stone, so there aren't like separated chairs or stuff like that. It's just like stone steps that make up the benches which you sit on. And it's, you know, has already been steadily filling. So I will now decide, since most of the people will want to sit at the very front, how many of them have already been filled. There are a set of 10 rows, and I will roll a d8 to see how many rows have already been filled. 8!
Wow.
Wow! So yeah, this big event, big event. So the closest you can sit would be the 9th row, which is very far away.
Fine by me. Just
Dang.
Unless you wanna, you know, try to steal someone's place, that's obviously a option as well. But if you are nice individuals and take the open seats.
It's more like I'm kind of scared to pick a fight with the wrong person, so I'm just gonna find an open spot and
It's the
lead us
pit. You gotta find
there.
it.
Okay, then on the 9th row, you're quite far away, but you can see it's built in a way where no matter where you sit, you will still have like a good view. It's just that, you know, the people will be very small. That's it. You do see that others came prepared who have like spyglasses and stuff like that. So, you know, they had this all planned out, knowing that they would come late because they probably slept in or something like that. And you just find, you know, a place to sit. You can see there are like two half elves next to you, and then a kind of group of dwarves sits to the right of you, while like a big furbolg sits behind you, and then the seats get filled faster and faster as everyone kind of rushes inside. Fiera, on the other hand, you walk to the side to where you pointed out. You can see like a stone slab that's placed there, and then kind of like bars going all the way up to the ceiling, and you can see a gnome that is kind of just standing there. Kind of see you approach. Says, "You have the golden ticket."
Yeah, here you go.
Okay, very well. Then please stand on the platform and hold on to one of the bars, please. And then Ender also comes. Okay, and then you can see that the stone slab beneath you kind of starts lifting up, and you float up. But you can see this elevator definitely isn't as smooth as the one you went to the director in the Vanspire. You can see your typical arcane elevator, which is kind of wobbly a bit, and you have to hold yourself to not fall down, as this is kind of like, you know, shaking a bit. And this is top of the craft arcane elevators that you know of and are used to, which puts into perspective how good the one in the Vanspire district actually was, as you kind of shamble your way up, and you can see that the top, it almost looks like you're about to squish against the ceiling, but just before you kind of arrive, 10 feet before that, you can see that the stone just shapes and opens up a hole, which the stone slab that you're standing on just perfectly comes up to. And you are now inside of a large room chamber. You can see in front of you the stained glass floor that comes. You can see there's a service deck next to you, and as you kind of step inside, the interior is lit by several chandeliers that hang from the sky that have just a multitude of different colors. There are tables set up with a buffet. You can also see servers, attendants. You can see like extremely nice velvet chairs that have been placed in a circle around the center portion where you can just look down on the arena. You can also see a two like silver or maybe even platinum rods that are set to one side, and some chairs are facing that direction, where a lot of people have also sat down. And you can see there are a variety of different kind of little stores, almost like rooms that have been set inside of there, so you can talk privately to any business associates that you may have here. You can see like yeah.
I have 1% left on my phone. I'm about to. Yep. Goodbye.
Oh shit! No,
I
no.
tried to warn you on Discord more than once.
Oh, I can't see it
Shutting
because my freaking dang it! I should have turned it off.
Bye. Hold on.
Oh no.
Going to the void.
Escaping into the void. I have to turn off. You know, I will remember myself now. I will turn off streamer mode because it's literally not helping me. Automatically. Is that it? Can someone quickly write something on Discord so I can see whether... Okay, now I get it. Something on Discord. Oh man. Matt coming once again. The funniest of us all. She is typing in row 20.
Oh,
Do you mean in the sense that you're in row 20, you can hear us on Discord? I'm confused. Okay, I think that's answered. Just row 20. And I'm lucky that it's freaking skit, because when she goes offline, it's still in the right order, the layout. So I guess that wow. Oh well, I'm fucked. Luckily, I have my 3 people screen still set up and it's in the right order as well. Yes, I am prepared.
wow.
This would have been the end anyways, after I've described the kind of sky lounge as you'll sit down there. Yeah, that's the end of today's session. A bit abrupt, but that's just how it is sometimes. Yeah, so we will have to see next week what will happen inside of the arena and whether or not a fight will take place. I mean, a fight will take place. It's a fighting pit.
Between who? Whom? What parties?
Which parties indeed? Yes. Well, I guess since one of our members has already left, there's not much left for us to say. So, we'll stop here and we'll see you again next week with episode number 17. Signing off.